What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 222. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
I am back in my usual environment, but what's going to happen is I got one more week up in New York, but you'll still see me because I'll be back before Thursday. But yeah, good stuff.
Nice. Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
What up?
Brett Murdoch joining us.
In the nick of time.
I love it. Adam Vale.
Shalom, internet.
And joining us are one of our founders of Throwdown, Mr. Riku-san 1.
What up, people? Riku-san 1, the only one.
Hey, what's going on? Riku, what's going on with Gaming Man?
Gaming Man, I'm out here trying to get these platinums. Like I said, I'm already 6 platinums in this year. We're only on month 2.
Started. Shit.
Yeah, it just started, man. I already told you, man, I'm trying to get these platinums before some things happen. And surprisingly, they're all Vita platinums, man. Vita ain't got no games though.
Oh.
But
Riku, what's your thoughts on that real quick? The Vita officially coming to an end.
I heard about that in Japan, right?
Japan.
Like it's finally done. About time. It's about time. I'm like we're moving to you. That's like the confirmation that Sony is definitely moving forward as far as whatever the fuck they got going on over there. Obviously PlayStation 5, but is there anything else? Only time will tell. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, that was
I think Tony froze, man.
Yeah, I think.
You think so? You think Tony just? I mean, he's
muted.
He's muted himself.
Yeah.
All right, he might be having issues on there, so
He might be having.
we'll just keep
Okay. But you did hear everything I said. I didn't break a rule.
Everything was
Okay.
So
Okay.
but I'm wondering if he's even getting the show. We'll see what
We're
happens.
still streaming, so we're still
streaming
live.
So yeah,
What happened? What happened? Who's not getting the show?
Man, what happened there? Man, there was a dead air.
What the fuck are you talking about? Riku was saying this thing, and I went to go do something.
Yeah, but there was just like an unusual silence there. No.
Yeah, you're supposed to keep talking, motherfuckers.
It wasn't a James Cameron speech.
I figured Riku was going to talk for like 5 minutes, waxing poetically about the Vita.
No way, man.
I was, but I know how you sometimes Tony be wanting me to wrap it up. So I was like, let me make this.
What the fuck you talking about, man? I want to talk about the Vita right now, son.
Man.
You let me down, Riku. I figured this is the perfect time I got to handle something. Riku's going to talk for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back. No, this motherfucker stop.
Man.
Oh, yeah. Pours one out for the Vita. Move on.
Because
like,
I thought we had a show to get to.
Man, we'll get to that. Man, fuck this show, man. It's all about Riku right now.
It's about the motherfucking Vita. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand. I mean, if you want me to vamp, you gotta let me know because I know how to vamp.
Really, Riku? Because I thought you just vamping just on your own, just cause, man.
All right, so
man.
Riku, so what? The big thing, right? I doubt if it's ever gonna happen. But do you think PlayStation's gonna make another portable?
Honestly, like a part of me is like, no, they're done because handheld gaming overall as a main thing is kind of done. Mm-hmm. And as far as the Nintendo Switch, the only reason that was a success was because for the longest of time, Nintendo has always had a console side and a console fan base that bought the consoles, and they had a handheld side that those people didn't necessarily buy every Nintendo console. They did buy the handhelds. I'm using myself as an example, as I technically never really owned a Nintendo console. Like the only one I really had was the Super Nintendo, but that was my uncle. He gave that to me. Other than the Super Nintendo, I went to Dreamcast, then I went to PS1, PS2. I've been on PlayStation ever since, as far as like the home consoles. But I've owned every Nintendo handheld all the way up to the 3DS. So as far as Nintendo going forward, they took their console side of stuff and their handheld side of stuff and combined it into one. I really don't think, as far as Nintendo going into the future, here's a good question for you, Adam. Do you think that Nintendo, after the Nintendo Switch, will split their handheld and console community back into two different things, or are they combined and they're going to stay combined for the rest of the time?
I think they're going to stay. I think we're just going to see different iterations of this, but it's always going to be in this format where you can take it on the go and dock. I mean, that's been the success for this one. Because remember, this is what a lot of people thought the Wii U was. When I saw that, we were like, "Oh shit, tablet demo, take this to go. It's gonna be awesome." Nope, that's not what it does.
Yeah, and that's the thing where it's like Nintendo did what they needed to do as far as staying successful, and it was a great move on their part. But Sony's definitely in like a different they're in a different ball field when it comes to that. It's like their handhelds were good, but they're obviously weren't as successful as Nintendo's, and they were all as far as moving forward, that they care about the power behind their consoles, and you can't really have you can't have your cake and eat it too when it comes to pioneering the future of console gaming and also having some sort of handheld related to that in particular. So if they did do anything handheld related, it most likely won't be connected to the PlayStation 5, and if it is, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, man. And I just can't see them going down the route.
I've been hearing rumors about that though. I've been hearing rumors. Oh, Sony might do some sort of like Wii U type shit. I hope not.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. I just can't see them going down that road.
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it.
Well, I mean, they did very well in handhelds for a company that kind of left their handhelds twisting in the wind after a year of, after a year of PSP with the squirrels and all that stuff. There was nothing. They stopped the TV ads, no print ads, no nothing. And PSP is the third best-selling handheld of all time. Right?
Yeah.
So and Vita sold very well for having even less, I think, marketing support from Sony.
Yeah, think about it like this. Like, we said on Thursday, it's like it died a very long death because people have been saying, oh, Vita's dead for the last 6 years. Well, it hung on for 6 years, didn't it? So there you go, man.
That's true.
All right. Let's move on. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Vita because obviously you're Mr. Vita,
It's playing it today.
Awesome. All right. So the contest we're gonna, we've been doing basically, if you guys don't know, Carlos and Stubby Stan, Mr. Cicero Holmes from Spawn on Me had a bet like last December and stuff. And I'm not going to get into details of that, but it basically ended where each of our shows, Spawn on Me and Throwdown, is going to give one of their fans a game courtesy of the other show. So we're going to do that tonight, but we're not going to do it right now. We're going to ask the question here, and at the end of this show, we'll do it. I was thinking about doing this on Twitter, but then I realized people who may not be a fan of the show may jump in. I kind of want specifically our fans to, enjoy this stuff. So that's how we're going to do it. So right now, if you're in the chat, the question for the contest is, and let me leave the Discord here, is it's a simple one. What is your favorite game of all time? You don't need to explain why, just what is your favorite game? We're going to take all the names together, and we're going to come up with a winner. The only caveat is you got to be a member of our Discord. But you can answer right here in the Twitch chat, And you guys who answer on Thursday, we got you down. Don't worry about that, But yeah, we want to do this specifically for the fans, and this is courtesy of Spawn on Me, and they're going to do the same, with us. Like they're going to give away the game to their fans, courtesy of us. So it should be pretty cool, So yeah, I'll start leaving them answers, and we'll pick somebody at the end of the show. It'll be cool.
I almost feel like we should have had somebody from the Spawn on Me.
I was thinking about that too, but yeah. These things happen.
Busy, I don't want to give them a last minute like, hey, yo, you want to show?
It's a little trickier because they also record on Thursdays like we do.
Well, they don't do a Sunday show.
No, they do not do a Sunday show. But anyway, let's move on here. Okay, this is me pulling rank a little bit, but I could do that because I'm the host. Brett asked us a very good question at the end of the last show, and the show was kind of running too long, so I had to cut it off. But I want to start off with this one because this is a good one. And Brett, I'm going to ask you a question, and you correct me if I, paraphrase it incorrectly.
Sounds good.
Okay, what is your favorite kind of PvP, and how would you evolve the traditional arena PvP experience? Is that close to what you wanted?
That's actually a great summary. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. So I'm going to go down the line here. Actually, I'm going to go with the obvious one because I know your answer. Manny, you start first.
I mean, there's no real. I mean, the I've never really cared for PvP. I'm not that sort of player. I find a lot of that sort of stuff. It kind of kills the enjoyment for me. because it's like already at the point that I'm playing, everybody's exploiting all kinds of horrible things, and there is no sort of fair play. A lot of that stuff is just like, it's just no rules pasta, and I don't care for that sort of.
Did you say no rules pasta?
There's no rules pasta, man. It's just like anything goes. Some dickhole is sniping people from across the map. Some other person is just spamming one move. So it's like it's not enjoyable to me when it in that sort of realm, and I don't find that sort of competition fulfilling. To be honest, my perfect PvP situation is sitting in the same damn room as the same person that I'm going against. It means going against Tony or Chris or anybody else in the room. Like we're sitting in this physically in a room. That's an ideal
couch co-op.
situation. That's an ideal situation. Not
that's
some
PvP,
guy, some nameless person on the other side of the world who's just being an ass.
Yeah, and so then obviously, so you don't care about how to evolve it then either, right?
No, I don't really care to evolve it because I feel like every single time they try to evolve it, so it's always some sort of exploit that people are just taking advantage of, and I really don't care for that at all. I mean, at least you can guarantee, like within the room of people that are playing at the same time, you can establish those sorts of rules of engagement. Unfortunately, online there isn't that sort of thing. People don't do that. They're going to win at whatever cost they can, which means cheating and doing all kinds of other bullshit shit that doesn't make anything fun. I'm sorry.
All right. Riku, what about you? What's your favorite kind of PvP, and how would you evolve the traditional PvP that we see now?
My favorite type of PvP. How long am I getting? Can I vamp a little bit?
Go ahead, brother. Go as long as you want, man. We ain't on YouTube anymore. You vamp as long as you want.
Yeah, I asked the question. I want to hear the answer.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll try to give you my best answer. So when it comes to that question in particular, a little background to me. I love me some Dynasty Warriors, right? Dynasty Warriors 3 is my favorite game. And one of the reasons why it's my favorite game is because unlike any other Dynasty Warriors game that came before it or after it, actually had a good versus mode. In Dynasty Warriors 3, they had a few modes in its versus mode. They had 1v1, sure. But they had one mode in its versus mode where it's obviously split screen, it's PS2. You chose your character, and player 2 chose his character. But also you have three the game would choose 3 playable officers on your team, and it would do the same for player 2. So it's a 4, and you all 4 of these officers were on the arena, and they would go out and fight each other. And then halfway through the match, Lubu would appear, and he would randomly be on your team or the opponent's team. And whoever has to fight Lubu has to fight him to half health, and then Lubu would switch sides and fight the next person. And this would, that's the whoever's character dies or wins. And that mode in versus mode in particular, I played hundreds of hours after I already maxed out all the characters and did all the stories, and that in particular made me like that type of PvP, the third person type of competitive hack and slash games, which there aren't that many out there. The only ones that have come out in recent years, and by recent years I'm talking about this generation or last generation, was actually a game called Anarchy Reigns by Platinum Games last year. That game is a third person PvP, you beat them up or hack slash, because some characters punch, some characters slash, but it was a third person action fighting game. And I fucking loved that game to death because it had a mode inside there where it was it was a 17 player free for all, and you're all in this city just fighting each other. And it was so much fucking fun. You had combos, you could fucking interrupt. There was so much crazy shit that would happen inside there. Like me and my friends would go inside this free for all, but then we would be we would pretend where we're on teams. So we would be fighting each other in a 1v1. Someone randomly would come and try and fuck up our 1v1. We would go and jump that motherfucker and then get back to our 1v1. There was so many types of crazy things that would happen inside that mode in particular, it just made me like that type of genre even more. And then, Gundam Versus is kind of like that, and Jump Force to some degree is like that. But the fact that that's only 1v1, that's the thing. I don't really like it when it's 1v1. I like it when it's a lot more than just 1v1. So as far as your question, what is your favorite type of PvP? That's what it would be. But the problem is there's not many out there. And how would I evolve that traditional arena PvP experience?
Yeah, like you know what arena means, by the way, because we were having a little bit of a problem defining that last time. Basically, Brett, you could describe it. What do you consider a team? Arena match.
You're talking about like Overwatch and one, right?
Overwatch, even down to like we're debating whether or not old Halo was considered arena, and I was saying yes, it's just a big arena with vehicles.
Yeah, depending on what type of gameplay style it is, shouldn't necessarily matter as far as what you are referring to. Because even what the type of games I'm talking about, they do have team deathmatch in there, and they basically play like all the other ones. The only difference is they don't necessarily have classes like Overwatch and whatnot. It just depends on what your character can do, how they're built, if they're heavy or light character, and all the other stuff. But as far as those type of games, Overwatch and all of those, I don't really play those type of games that much. But as far as the question, what kind of PvP do you like? That's the type of PvP that I like, and how I would evolve that specific type of PvP.
Yeah,
honestly, it's one of the things why I didn't like about that. Not only were the games getting easier, they were purposely removing versus mode from it. So, they don't have to deal with balancing or any shit like that. They can get the games out faster and even with less care and quality. But when they did have versus mode, one thing I wish that they would do is actually take what they did in Dynasty Wars 3, where it was just, your 4v4 with officers, but make it, a big battlefield. And just more than just a 4v4. You can make that shit, on one side, 10 playable online, players versus a 10 playable online players on the other side, and just give them the big battlefield, take over bases, ride on horses. We don't have anything like that. The closest thing we have to that is like For Honor, which, when I saw For Honor doing it, I was like, this is cool and all, but it's not really there yet. And then from a gameplay standpoint, you would think that would be something that I would like, because I like Souls, and then this has samurais, but I think I just wanted it to be, I guess, more combo juggly, or more, I guess, more anime or whatever. And
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so that's what I would want them to do, but Omega Force is never gonna put that much time and effort into balancing what is their roster at now? 82 characters that they have. They're damn near no company is gonna sit there and try and balance 82 characters and put out a game when it's already niche, and they know they're not gonna get their money back. So in a perfect world, that's the type of game that's the type of PvP game that I would like.
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right.
Awesome. Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the game that you were mentioning? Like, it sounded like you're talking about like a kind of open world brawler game.
Oh,
where you were fighting friends and other people.
Yeah, that was called Anarchy Reigns. Made by Platinum Games on the PS3.
Okay.
That game was awesome. And it kind of answers another question you have later on. But yeah.
Cool. All right, Chris, go ahead.
What I wanted to see was PvP going back a long time has had different meanings for me. PvP for me in high school was going to the bodega and playing Street Fighter.
Yes.
Right. And my first online experience was there was a service that could let you play Doom online. Like you called into somewhere and it hooked you up with people and shit. And then when Halo was out, I played Halo 2 online, played Halo 3. I said before on the show, like my favorite online game was Halo Reach. Like that game was great. And I did enjoy, I think the last thing I enjoyed online considerably was Titanfall 2. I was playing that online with the mechs and everything. But what I would love to see is what was kind of promised with Dust 514 was to be able to have a buddy controlling RTS style, all sorts of units and everything, but I would be able to play on the battlefield. So I would be controlling my own guy, doing shit and stuff, and then like a commander or something could drop in support, or it's like, oh, I'm pinned down here and they send in a ship or something. I think that shit would be great. I think that would make great co-op gameplay. Like you could just be on the battlefield and then you have a buddy controlling either troops or AI units or like drop ships and all this shit. That's that sounds cool to me. I wasn't into EVE Online, but the promise that Dust 514 had, that's the kind of thing I would like to see in a modern game.
Nice. And then how would okay, that's a good. Oh, what is your favorite, by the way, Chris?
Reach by far. Like that was fantastic. The whole Reach had so many modes and so many things you could do: firefight, team deathmatch, capture the flag, all this stuff. It was that Reach had everything. But I really enjoyed Titanfall 2 because of the Titans. So that added like another whole aspect to the game. So I did enjoy Titanfall 2 a lot. And I mean, I do love like Dark Souls, but Dark Souls is kind of like medieval, like, oh, we're gonna duel now and just you line up and stuff. I'm thinking of more shooters like PvP stuff.
Nice.
I
Hold
just
on.
wanna-
Just quick shout out to Techno Fabulous who gave us 1,000 bits. You know what that means?
Nice.
Call of Duty.
Pew 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 in the face.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Mitty.
I mean, I have to say this is not like for me again, like the PvP thing is not a thing for me, but I do like cooperative multiplayer. I've always liked that situation where it's like multiple people, like all of us kind of going against something. You know what I mean? As opposed to just us versus everybody
Yeah,
versus each other.
like
Remember
like Gears of War.
but
like
this
Gears of
question
War.
is specifically for
Yeah.
PvP.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's so much easier to make a PvE mode or a co-op mode. Like the problem, the spirit, and the reason this question was asked was we seem to be following an ever-evolving linear line of how we play PvP, which started at arena-based shooters and is kind of ending at battle royale. And a lot of people aren't necessarily happy with that. So it was kind of like, well, how would you rather see them change and evolve the PvP experience from here on out?
Yeah. All right. Carlos, even though you kind of gave your answer before, just give a quick like summary version of it.
Yeah, so my favorite multiplayer game is probably Halo 2 because it has a true ranking system. It had clan integration, which is really underrated aspect of Halo 2's multiplayer. And it had a lot of game types. It had capture the flag, team deathmatch, assault, lone wolf, and all those kinds of things. So yeah, that's sort of my mold because it breeds for better competition in PvP instead of this. You're just you participate to get recognition, and as a competitive at least back then, as a competitive player, I'm not a big fan of that. I think you should earn sort of your rank. Call of Duty kind of ruined it by just letting people get high rankings just because they played a lot. So, and maybe that's just me, but so yeah. And as far as evolving, I mean, we're kind of devolving when it comes to multiplayer. It's like one game type is a whole freaking genre now. What the hell is this? It's like we're moving to think about this. Chris mentioned Reach, right? It's like not only did it have online co-op, 4-player online co-op, it had team deathmatch, assault, capture the flag, big team battle, like all of these game types. Firefight, which was their version of horde mode, and a whole myriad of other stuff. But now it's like one game type is a whole genre. It's not even a game.
But that's not the developer's fault. That's the people's fault. They picked that.
That's why I'm saying we're devolving now. Then
Yeah. Well, I agree with Carlos. Like it's going backwards because when the Fortnite guys go, "Gee, what can we add to the game?" I'm like, guys have been doing this for like 20 years. It's
Add
like,
a game to it. That's what you could do.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's true.
You're right. That was like, imagine if like capture the flag became an actual genre. That's weird, But that's how it is now.
Do you guys remember how Fortnite was supposed to be?
Well,
Fortnite was eventually
crafting, right?
Oh yeah, it was just it was a tower defense. It was like you craft, you
it
set
was
up
a tower
traps
defense
and stuff like that. And
but there was going to be horde mode in it. where you got to build
Yep.
your own thing and then basically have horde mode, tower defense. But there was also supposed to be like I'm pretty sure a PvP mode where you assaulted other people's home bases, and so it was about
like said booby traps.
Yeah, so you like fortify up your big base, and then you have a match where somebody comes in with the ability to like kick down walls and blow shit up, and they try and assault their way to the heart of their base, and then when the match is over, the game reassembles your base and starts all over again.
That was the last time I played it when it was in that form.
Yeah, and then everybody decided, fuck that, we don't want this. Give us Battle Royale. And they just kind of scrapped everything else.
Man, that's crazy. All right, Brett, you gave your answer before, but just give us a shorter version of it.
Actually, I think I'm not sure if I gave my answer specifically. I really like integration between single player and multiplayer game. My favorite approach so far has weirdly been fuck, god damn it, I've been thinking about it the whole time and I just pulled a brain fart on the name. Absolver. I really liked Absolver. I really liked the fact that it was an open world game where you could go around and fight down. It was fairly linear. You had a way that you could go, but you went around, you fought people, and then randomly you just shared the zone with people. And so if somebody was just sitting back waiting for you to finish a fight and then came in and jumped you, it kind of turned that natural inclination of asshole behavior and it framed it in a really cool kung fu movie kind of style. So instead of some dude just waiting to jump me from outside of an alleyway, there's a ninja fucking ruffian down there trying to stop my journey. Or if I'm walking along killing guys and some guy steps out in front of the setting sun, challenges me to duel, it's not just some jackass trying to interrupt my play. I've been challenged for my honor. I think that's really cool, especially when it doesn't really interrupt the flow of your gameplay. I like how Division's doing it, but I also don't like the fact that I have to go to the fucking dark zone. And that when I go there are people going to be prepared for it. In no story or movie ever does anybody other than maybe rollerball or some shit. Do people go into that kind of competition? And I feel like a lot of PvP these days has been turned into almost a sport. I mean, I know that I don't mean the sense of sports, but I mean in the sense that it's just about plays and points, and the spirit of the game or the spirit of surviving or the spirit of conflict isn't really there. It's just do this objective as many times as possible to get as many points as possible before time runs out, and then your team wins, which is a sport.
But don't you think that a lot of these things are done because of those situations where people are literally just taking advantage of the system and beating, just randomly picking on people?
There are lots of ways to balance that out. In Absolver, I never felt picked on.
If you think about it, well, because you were doing the picking, but
let me say something real quick about that. I that mindset that Brett has is similar to what I was talking about in Anarchy Reigns, where me and my friend we're in a, like I said, we're in a 17 player free for all. We should not be on teams. We should not be playing it like it's a co-op game. And we are friendly fighting. We're having a little friendly 1v1 in the middle of this 17 player free for all. So some random guy can come in and be like, "Hey, look, that guy in the 1v1 is about to die. I'm just gonna stand back here and wait until he's at a slither, and then I'm just gonna come in and fucking kill him and get the kill." Because in that match, there's at the top left of your screen, it shows the top 4 players with the most amount of kills and have the highest amount of points when the match is over. It'll tell you who wins. Mm-hmm. So those type of scumbags are just chilling in the background, watching people and just run up and do a fucking super kick and take the kill and then runs off. And then you got to chase them.
Well, yeah, it's I mean, don't you think that a lot of times when Brett seemed like he wasn't really happy, where it's okay, you have to go to the fight room,
I hate going to the fight room.
You have to go to the fight room in order to fight because.
Yeah, but some people don't want, for example, Manny. Manny doesn't want it, and if it was always in the world, he wouldn't want to play that world.
It doesn't.
He wouldn't want to play that game.
Exactly. Especially when it's I'm trying to do my own thing, and then just some random douchebag decides to throw a fucking sword at my head. I'm like, I'm minding my own business.
That's literally Anarchy Reigns, bro. I'm fighting somebody, and someone can. It's in Streets of Rage, you could just pick up random street shit. You can do that in Anarchy. You can pick up a tire and throw it at somebody, and they'll land right on top of them, and they have to continuously press buttons to get it off of themselves, or they're just gonna get comboed. And people will do that. They'll watch you have a 1v1. That guy, I hate him. And then just
Exactly.
throws a tire on you and fucks up your whole 1v1.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm just like, I'm like, man, I'm trying to go out and do my thing, you know. Just like it's like walking around in New York and everybody in New York decides they're gonna fucking come after you. I'm like, yo,
I love that. I'm like, bring it on.
I'm trying to fucking get
This is
on.
why you don't move to the Bronx, because that's what it is.
Exactly. It's like living in the Bronx. You walking
Yo,
down
talk
the
about
street.
Streets of Rage, man.
I'm telling you, it's based off of that shit.
Yeah.
See
Anyway,
what-
yeah. Go ahead,
Hey,
Brett.
why couldn't they just MMOs figured this out a long time ago, and they split up into PvP and non-PvP servers.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. It's the fight room. The PvP server is the fight room.
Well, no, the PvP server is the fight room, but I guess I'm okay with the fight room as long as it's big enough to encompass the entire game.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's not like the fight arena. It's like we must battle. Go to the battle arena.
Yeah, no, it's if I'm in Division and I'm running along and some motherfucker comes along and like steals the kill or just has a generally punchable face, I can't be like, you know what, dude? Fuck you, shotgun blast. I have to be like, hey, let me send you a friend invite so I can tell you.
No, what are you talking about? In the Division? No, you just kill them.
In the Dark Zone?
In the Dark Zone, but you don't see them in the regular world.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to be able to be in the overworld. I want to be able to play
No,
along my
that's not
single
a
player
fun
game,
game. That's not a fun
see
game.
somebody.
There's
and be
no
like,
diversity then. That's communism.
what?
Wait, what the fuck?
No,
What?
You need to have the diversity to do what you want. If I don't want that, then I don't want it in my game. That's it.
Exactly, which is why you play on a non-PvP server.
Yeah,
So,
all
like,
right.
why didn't Destiny, for instance, have the ability for me to shoot other players when I saw them just out in the world? Why did I have to go to the fucking Crucible?
Because people bitched.
Yeah, because we don't want to get fucking shot.
Yeah,
in the head.
people didn't
Well,
want
you
that.
guys can log into non-PvP Destiny, and I could log into PvP Destiny, and the only way I would end up on a non-PvP server is if I joined your server or your game. And then you guys be like, no, motherfucker, I ain't joining your game. I know what kind of world you live in. That's fine though. Like
Brett.
I'm okay with that.
Brett, I just realized you're a griefer, bro.
Yeah, you're a monster.
No, that's
Yeah.
Learn how to
the
play
thing.
no games.
Worse.
Brett just wants to go
No.
in there and fuck somebody's day up.
That's
son.
it. He just
I'm
wants
the
to end people's
anti-griefer.
day.
I'm just here. I'm not all out of bubblegum, but I'm here to kick ass.
No, see, that's the thing. I'm not the griefer. I'm the bullier of bullies. Like
That's
that's,
not
the
true.
part that I like to do. Like, no, I don't hunt down in it. Well, every once in a while, I hunt down.
That
in it.
is not
But
true.
for the
Hey,
most
listen,
part,
I only grief sometimes, man.
no, for the most part,
I only grief when I'm bored.
You shit.
Let
What
him
is-
finish. Let him finish, man.
is
Go ahead.
beating somebody up griefing now? Like, nah, man, griefing
Yeah.
is like when you're like camping their ass. Everything. Like, I like to find the people who are like killing noobs and roll in there and just wreck their shit. Like, even like back in the day of like Warcraft, like I'd go back to zones 10 levels lower than me to find the other guy who had gone back to his zone 10 levels lower than them to fucking pick on the noobs and just wreck their shit repeatedly.
He's sitting there like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here?
Exactly.
Let
So
us
that guy did the
fight.
same thing. He was like, "This fucking guy go to the lower levels." And
I came here to fuck up noobs. And I came here to fuck up people that fuck up
No,
noobs.
sometimes they don't even do that. Sometimes they go along with a buddy who just wants to help level up. I was like, all right, I'll help you
those are
level
the
you up. And
people
it's
that
like,
fuck up. Like in Dark Souls, there's the Blue Sentinels, right? Like I'm fine fighting random people. You know what's more exciting to me? Getting summoned into a world of somebody who's been invaded to fight the invader, because that invader's out for fucking blood, and I'm there to protect this motherfucker. All of a sudden, it's gotten way more complex and layered.
Oh man, I don't need you to protect me.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah, bring on, yes.
Anyway, Adam, go ahead, get here. What's your favorite
Check out-
PvP experience? And
Link, Brett.
yeah, what's your favorite PvP experience, and how would you evolve it?
my favorite is Team Deathmatch. You know, I love Team Deathmatch. I love it in any game. It's just fun. Yeah, I love Call of Duty. I like mainly because Call of Duty does smaller maps. And so that way it's a lot of just running and smacking people in the face with a gun and a bullet. And I know some people, like Carlos, you're like, oh, I don't like this. It's just the fun of doing it. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't
wait.
want to take it too serious.
Carlos likes
That-
Team Deathmatch.
if
You're
you
talking
know,
about
if
Red.
you
I
want to
do like
go,
Team-
no, I know, but if you want to go into the, I know what he's talking about. It's like, oh, you just get points for playing and stuff. Well, you get less points when you're playing in ranked. If you start losing, then you're just not getting the points. Go public, and then that's it. Just have fun. Just run and gun. That's it. Don't take it too serious. So it's fun. The way I would have improved on it is what I thought Call of Duty Blackout was going to be. When we first talked about it, remember, I was hyped because I thought it was going to be the Call of Duty environment with buildings burning and certain activities happening with this big brawl feel, like a war. We have that in Battlefield, the conquest mode, but the thing is the maps are too big. It takes forever. You die in one spot, then you got to do this whole long travel to get over there. But I thought it was going to be like that in Call of Duty. Instead, we got this open farm field. It really does feel like PUBG in first person, and it sucked. That really pissed me off. So if they could just evolve that, have the big brawl, but in a smaller map and in a real immersive type of Call of Duty type of map, like big buildings, you could run up on different floors, and you could jump, or you can get sniped from the top, and people are shooting, and there's vehicles, jump on a bike, zoom around the streets and shooting. That's the way I would evolve it. Right now, the only other evolution I see when it comes to that is the Dark Zone. Especially this new one with the Division 2. The one thing I do like is that there's different layers to going rogue. It's not just one and done. Now there's different forms of it. You could actually make a whole little career out of just going rogue. So that's what I like about it, and it's fun. And the thing is, with a lot of people don't realize is that, oh well, when I went there, I just got killed. That was it. I just went in there, I got robbed, I lost everything. Everybody's so leveled up. You got to look at the gates. The gates tell you level numbers. If you're not that level, don't go in there. It's letting you, because it's your game, do whatever you want. But you really shouldn't. Just know that. So when you go in there, you're like, damn, everybody's overpowered and killing me. Yeah, well, you're not up to the skill level gear wise to be in that area. Don't go in there. There's a reason why they keep promoting it as stuff to do in the end game, because you really shouldn't be doing it while you're playing. It happened even in Division 1. I had buddies of mine that we were playing, and they were like, man, we got to get better gear. Let's just go into Dark Zone. It doesn't work that way. We're not going to survive. Yeah, there's better gear in there, but we're just not geared up enough to do it. Let's wait till we're like halfway done with this campaign and then get some decent gear and then go in there. So I like how they're doing it, but that's it.
For me, kind of like Manny, my kind of PvP is the PvP where you're next to me playing Street Fighter. That was our shit back in the day, fighting games, every day after school or going to the arcades. I love that shit. The only way you could evolve that is if you invent teleportation devices so Manny could come over, that's the only way for traditional shooting game stuff. Even though it is a bit of a cop-out since Adam used it, yeah, it's funny. I never liked traditional arena stuff, like, going into a room and just shooting everybody. Now I actually like it compared to Battle Royale. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like what happened with The Last Jedi. Like, The Last Jedi made me appreciate those shitty prequels, So, yeah, Team Deathmatch I like because you're with a team. At least it's co-op, but you're still killing other people, So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
I'm really surprised no one mentioned GoldenEye, because a lot of people contribute GoldenEye for their reason for loving PvP. And nobody here played that? Nobody was into it?
Dude, I played the shit out of GoldenEye, and I loved it, but I feel like we've moved on from that. And even GoldenEye had, like, a bigger map. Like, if you really go back and play GoldenEye, you spend 1 to 2 minutes just trying to figure out where another fucking person is. Like, it's not constant, blah, 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 in a 30-square-foot room. And that's the thing that really got me about Gears is, like, especially by Gears 3, like, the arenas were so fucking small. And I get that they're just trying to constantly push you into other people's faces, but that's not how it's always been. Like, there is a little bit of hunt and destroy, and if you just take out the hunt aspect like most arena shooters do, I don't know, man, I think it ruins part of it.
Interesting. All right, so yeah, I guess that's my answer. I like team deathmatch. I even like dumb stuff like capture the flag. Again, anything with team based, I like. Yeah, domination is cool. I like that stuff.
Domination is fun. You work together.
Domination.
Yeah, domination. All right, man, let's move on. I love how we spent like half an hour on that one fucking question.
Fun fact, Division 2, you heard as the clans, and we could rank people in the clan.
Do you like Division 2 again now?
No, I don't. But okay. I like what they're releasing, just new news regarding the clan aspect and some of the other things for the multiplayer.
Yeah, we're gonna have a intervention with Adam about the division.
It's gonna take some,
because you're like, man, it's not gonna be as good as the first one.
I had some people drop me from my friend list. Some division guys. They're like, yo, I heard what you said. Fuck you. And they cut me.
Damn. I'm not gonna apologize for that here in the show, Adam.
I know. I figured that, but whatever. It is
all right. Let's move on, man. Mr. Glorious War. All right, this is going to be an interesting. I moved this up the queue because this is timely. All right, his first question is: with the seemingly low sales of Anthem in the UK and the sudden price drop, what do you want EA to do to change their toxic image? Also, is this the guillotine for BioWare?
Wait, sudden price drop? I didn't even know this.
I didn't know.
Guillotine. It's guillotine.
I call it
I'm sorry to
guillotine.
be that guy.
It's I think
I call it guillotine because I'm not a. Well, I was going to say something, but yeah.
I saw it drop to like $40.
Yeah.
Was that a sale or? I mean, we didn't get that here. You would think we would have gotten that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's
just
for
saw
the
it in-
UK, but yeah,
Yes,
apparently,
UK.
I mean, yeah, there's the sales, the bad reception. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I'm just basing what I played off the demo. I'm not impressed. You know, but Brett, you know, you love the fucking game. You know, so what do you
I'm
make of?
taking the shit out of Anthem.
Yeah, so
I'm a motherfucking space wizard.
Are you sure you're a space wizard or you're a sci-fi wizard?
I'm a fucking space wizard. I mean, I do make sci-fi sounds, so it's a valid question. But
yeah, again, this game is not, you know, it's mixed to say the least. You know, the reception out there. Although I'm not seeing too much love. It's like 60-40, 60% are like, then the other 40 are like, hey, this is good, but it could be better.
What's the exact question again?
I'll just read it. With the low sales of Anthem in the UK and the sudden price drop, what can EA do to change their image? Also, is this the guillotine for BioWare?
Okay, yeah, because we started talking about Anthem, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is about something. Okay, so it's about EA.
It's about EA and Anthem, basically saying, you know, because EA's image is looking bad and Anthem is not helping that. So what can they do to turn things around?
Stop releasing online games immediately.
Oh shit!
I've come to realize something. I'm pretty sure that any massively online game or massively multiplayer online game that isn't free is just going to get review bombed like a motherfucker. They never release clean. I have never seen an MMO launch stable. And people have gotten so fucking picky, and I hate to. I'm not jumping on the entitled gamer bandwagon, but people have gotten so fucking picky. Like, y'all don't remember the shit that we had to suffer through when like Warcraft launched. That was Blizzard. That was as good as it got.
I think, but that's the thing. People don't want that. They expect the next gen, of course, not just the graphics, but performance. They want all the shit just to work out the box.
You can't do that on a massively multiplayer game. It has never been done. Dude, look at Rockstar. Rockstar still can't get Red Dead to work fucking right.
I know.
Like it's clearly a thing where it doesn't matter how much talent you have, how much time you have, how much money you have, it's going to be a rocky start. I have never, in my entire history of gaming, I can't think of one massively multiplayer game that hasn't had at least kind of a rocky start. And like something like The Division ended up being like the high watermark of fucking video games. But
All right, let's settle down with that, man.
A lot of times they launch so terribly that there's inevitably a backlash. Like Anthem is not bad, you guys. It's not Mass Effect, but it's got better shooting than Mass Effect. It's got mechs. Like it doesn't have BioWare's signature storytelling, but that isn't for every game. Remember, they made a game called Knights of the Old Republic.
It's so weird because I see all these reviews, people just saying it's not fun. That it just isn't fun.
Oh no, it's super fun. I'm just hearing it doesn't have a lot of end game content. And I'm kind of split in the middle. Like, look, if they have 40 to 60 hours worth of content, I'm happy.
How long is the campaign if they've already made it to the end game? I mean, didn't it just come out Friday?
A lot of the people I'm seeing on Reddit complaining about that, they're saying, like, I'm 80 hours in and I'm kind of running out of stuff to do. And they're kind of split because some people are like, I feel like there should be more. And other people are saying, you're 80 hours in. You've got 80 hours out of that video game.
Yeah,
so
that
more
seems
time
than the majority of people put in any game.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of discussion actually brewing amongst gamers now about like what you can't have a $60 bug-free game launch with 250 hours of content on release date. Like we're being unrealistic unless we're willing to pay more for these video games or let them bake in the oven for a decade. But we're not open to either of those options either as gamers. It just seems like anybody who tries this is doomed. And God forbid you try it with a franchise or a studio that's known for doing something else. Like don't branch out, Don't try anything new. Don't do anything that you can't launch 100% stable. So dial back your ambition. Really, what you need to do is give gamers the same vanilla bullshit they've had before in a new yearly package. And that apparently is the only way to get high critic scores.
Wait. I gotta
Damn,
push back
Riku
on
cleared
this.
that throat deeply.
So obviously you meant that in a sarcastic tone, but they are basically doing that. This is Destiny 3 in a different package. This is the same
I
vanilla
hear
Destiny.
that, but like, okay, substantiate that argument because I don't see it.
Throwdown, man. Let's go.
I mean, what I played of the
Just
demo,
aesthetic?
the whole thing screamed Destiny. The way that you shoot, the way it shows the thing in the meter where it says the damage you've done, to the fucking loot that you get from the game. All of that it's Destiny. That's the skeleton of this game. It's Destiny. That's the heart of this game. It's Destiny. It just has a fucking skin over it.
Oh, it doesn't. No, like the gameplay and the mechanics are completely different. The flight changes the way that you play the game significantly. It's closer to Monster Hunter in the way that it's established in Destiny. It's not just a big open fucking world where you wander around. You meet at a main quest hub and then launch out from there. I'll grant you, yeah, it's a looter shooter, but then I could also say, you know, other than bullets and like looter shooter mechanic, which is bullets and MMO mechanics, like, yeah, it has those things in common, but has those things in common with a lot of games. A lot of games do that. It's does just as much in common with Division as it does with Destiny.
So does this game do anything that's different from any other game?
Yes, the flight mechanics. I have never played a game where I get to
Finish your point.
I don't think I have actually, and definitely not in this aspect. It's the main aspect that sets it aside from Destiny are third person ability modes and the general flow and mechanics of combat, which are substantially different. I see it. It kind of seems like the same setting, kind of seems like the same idea. Like I get it that way, but I think a lot of the people that are saying it's just like Destiny are like, man, I don't think you really got it, or maybe didn't give it a chance, or I'm not really sure because I've had several friends play through it without really even utilizing the flight mechanics in it.
Well, I got a question. I didn't play the Anthem demo. Does it have PvP in it?
No.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little sad about that. It would be really fun, but it'd be probably a bitch to balance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, yeah. I mean, you know me, Brett. I'm with Carlos on this one. Like when I played this, like the first 5 minutes, it screamed fucking Destiny. The cherry on the top was when we were fighting a fucking mech spider. I'm like, come on, guys, you couldn't even have a different boss. It's the same boss from Destiny, bro. You know, everything about, like, I know it has the flying mechanics. By the way, the flying mechanics in DC, the MMO is way fucking better than this game. You know, just gotta get
I don't
that
know,
out there.
but those were some of the most solid flight mechanics ever, and they made a trash game completely acceptable all on their own.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know, this game, everything about it, the loot drops, the way the numbers pop up. Like I'm like, if you put this shit in first person, it's Destiny. There's no real difference. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
but you don't even have gear the same way that you did. You have like ability loadouts, but you don't have like, oh, I found a pauldron, or I found a helmet, or I found this other thing. Like you don't have that. Your customizations are pretty much unlocked right away. Even like I said, it reminds me so much of Monster Hunter, and maybe I'm the one that makes that distinction. I'm like, dude, Hub City, where you don't really see other players, with a small isolated part where you do see other players. You go in, you get a mission,
Destiny has that Hub City too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but I'm saying in the mechanics of you launch an instanced mission from a social hub gathering is exactly how Monster Hunter works, where Destiny is more open world. It's you can just wander around the world and do this mission and then do this mission and do this mission and then find a friend and then band up and then do a mission together. This isn't like that. You actually have to go back to the main city, much like Monster Hunter, figure out the mission you want to do, invite the people, and then you launch the mission, and it launches you into an instanced run where you're not going to see other people in the overworld running through your game randomly.
Like I'm not doubting your enjoyment of the game. The only thing that for me it's like you're saying oh, people are complaining that what's the name, BioWare is making a game that deviates from their formula, but they're making a game that deviates from their formula that's just a formula of someone else, and that's what irks me. It's like they and I don't know what the success of this game is, if it's going to be successful or not, but they're obviously this is the hill they're gonna die in. Is how can we make how can we do our version of Destiny? And I'm sorry, Brett, even though you don't think, I mean, I'm not saying it's a one-on-one thing, but it is based off of Destiny. If Destiny does not exist, this game does not exist. And
I disagree because and I think it's only because you guys aren't like multiplayer fans. Like
Carlos is like,
excuse me?
About?
Hold on.
Whoa.
What are you talking about?
All of a
You
sudden,
guys are
everybody got
massively-
lumped into that
Yeah, it's
category.
like just because
You
me
guys
and me,
aren't massively multiplayer fans. Like I have trouble getting you guys to play some of these games sometimes. Like, come on,
Well,
compare
'cause
to you
I
are.
level up numerous times. I prestige numerous times in Call of Duty, and then you got to do that multiplayer.
Yep, I played Destiny 1, 2. I've beaten all the Halos, Call of Duties, Overwatch,
To the
Heroes of the
Gears.
Storm, StarCraft, like all the RTSs, like fucking World of Warcraft. Like
I
played
got the
them all.
platinum in the division. I had to spend hours in the dark zone.
yeah, Brett, me and Manny don't speak for the entirety of the group.
Yeah.
You know? Everybody else here is a multiplayer player, man.
We're
We're the only, we're the odd men out, exactly. Yeah.
But Brett,
I
I was
in comparison to me.
Yeah,
Like I'm
Chris
like
was-
the big multiplayer.
I was
No, what, Chris?
Hold on. I was the only one in here who played Absolver with you. I actually tried that game.
No, you totally did. And I'm not throwing shade. That wasn't a comment meant to be throwing shade.
Oh. I'll say this. Anthem has it seems to have a lot of ambitious ideas. I agree with Carlos 100%. If Destiny didn't exist, EA wouldn't have gone, shit, we got to cash in on this. What can we do? They
Would
took the
Division exist?
they took the A team from BioWare, which is why we got Andromeda instead of the Mass Effect we deserve, and put them on this project, right? And I said, you better make this turd shine. So they came up with the best thing they could, but it's missing certain things that even Destiny doesn't Destiny have PvP?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't they why wasn't that in here day one?
Because this isn't Destiny.
No, but it is. Like I totally think it is. I think they looked at Destiny, Warframe, and all this stuff and said, "How can we get a piece of this pie?"
Okay, why is Division not being lumped into this category?
Yes, it is. What are you talking about? Yeah, it is too. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're just saying like they wanted to make a looter shooter, how could they do that?
Well, but they put the bells on, like Division is kind of in the like a real world scenario, right? Disease breaks out, whatever. So you're in the real world. But look at the world that Destiny, not Destiny, Anthem is in, and you see that what it's echoing, right, with the armor and the fancy.
No,
It's echoing
no,
Mass
it's
Effect.
not. It's
not
echoing
at
Destiny.
all. Not
It's
at all.
Destiny. It's Destiny, man. It's so Destiny. It hurts. You know.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm playing through it. I'm just like, dude, this feels like I can feel the Mass Effect coming off of this. I can feel. The
Well,
people-
it has some aspects.
Yeah, there's
of it.
DNA in there. By the way, Glorious War says BioWare took 6 years to make Destiny 1 clone with bad loot and bad story in 2019. That's how he feels about it. I mean, I see what you're saying about the Mass Effect. Like, the shooting is very much like Mass Effect, but everything else, man, just screams Destiny to me, man. Even from that first trailer, I'm like, oh my God, this is Destiny. You know?
Yeah, everyone. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
The story is weirdly mad. It's pretty much a retreading of Mass Effect, actually.
Yeah, I can't speak for the story because I skipped all those fucking cutscenes.
Damn.
Okay. Anthem only takes place on one planet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't understand like how you're making a parallel to Mass Effect. Mass Effect is like a galactic involved thing with multiple races and like a threat of annihilation from a race that nobody understands because it predates like humans and everyone in a cycle.
Yeah.
So does Anthem have anything that epic?
Yeah, just change galactic to interdimensional, and it's pretty much the same thing.
All right, so they parallel some, so there's something going to wipe out all life in that story.
The basic story that I'm going to give without any spoilers is the Anthem is a misunderstood relic of an ancient civilization that approached godhood, and it is some sort of power source that is not understood and generates catastrophes and monsters. And this is all left in a world that is constantly being reshaped by these giant terraforming machines known as the Shapers that basically resculpt the landscape continually while they're are vestiges of kind of these high-tech human kingdoms that live inside that. And they have freelancers, which are these kind of mech pilots, which very much Attack on Titan go outside the walls to fight off the interdimensional breaches caused by the Anthem of Creation and the various cataclysms and monsters that it spawns in an effort to protect the walled city and the people who live there.
Yeah. By the way, I need. Sorry, Chris, because Brett set the chat on fire. I gotta read some of these comments, man. Okay. Nate says, "Oh no, he didn't just say that trash story screams Mass Effect. The only Mass Effect that trash screams is Andromeda. Don't you do my Mass Effect like that. This made me log off my computer just so I could log onto my computer just so I could type fast. I tapped out. Hold on.
Elements. Jesus Christ, man.
He goes, I tabbed out of Civilization 6 so fast and pulled up the show on my second monitor.
Yeah, he's over there. He's typing. He's far here.
Yo, holy shit.
And then Sketch says, and he goes, he is reaching, and I'm saying this as a lover of Anthem. All right, just had to get that out there. Damn, and Nate, let me tell me how you really feel, bro. Fuck, go back to Civ 6, man.
Damn.
Go ahead, Chris. What were you saying?
No, I was saying, like, from what he's saying, like, I could see they took elements from Mass Effect, but the thing is, like, that makes me lose some respect for it because they couldn't get out of their own heads with Mass Effect to make something different. Like,
I agree.
They robbed from Mass Effect and they robbed from Destiny, they robbed from Division and Warframe, and cobbled together this game, which is missing essential pieces of what people enjoy in those other games. One thing is PvP. That should be in there from day one.
I absolutely agree. I'm just saying, be wrong at it for the right reasons. Like, I'm not super impressed with the story. Like, I kind of felt like, yeah, I had that exact same reaction. Like, really, Matt? Really, Anthem? But pulling some old BioWare type shit here, but it's not nearly as successful.
We've
decided to the chat that exploded. My best analogy that I can give you is this: you can make really good cookies with peanut butter. You can make really bad cookies with peanut butter. They're both peanut butter cookie, and that's all I'm saying. Like, they share elements. They did not combine them nearly as well. I'm not saying that this is Mass Effect. Except maybe Andromeda.
Also, I forgot.
I will say, okay, so the fucked up faces in Andromeda, the faces in this game are on point. You can tell where they put their A game.
Oh, they were going to fuck these up.
They didn't outsource it out.
Yeah, no one's arguing about the graphics of this game. This shit looks beautiful, you know?
No, I found that part fucking hilarious because, like, I was like, wow, these faces are very, like, on point and expressive. It's like they took a lot of time to make sure that the faces were definitely on point.
Nobody's face got tired.
It's funny, like, that they would farm something like that out, because as human beings, what are the things that we look at? The first things that we look at is we're predisposed to look at people's fucking faces. You telling me that you can't get at least the faces right? Or like looking somewhat natural.
I mean, like, that's what you get when you get the B team, man.
But the thing is that, like, even in art, that is not you don't fucking skimp out on a face, because that's the thing that everybody looks at. Like, if you look at Japanese anime, what are the things that they get the best whenever you see a still? The face.
Other than, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I had an answer too, but I can't say that in 2019 now. You know?
Oh, come on. No, Mandy's right. There's lots of animes when you're like, her face is pretty. Apparently, her left arm is like...
Yeah, exactly. Because they look, they're made to look good, like, at that moment. Because the first thing that you're going to look at is the face, and then you're going to look at the rest of the body. And that's the first thing you got to get right. That's one of the things, even in animation, always used to piss me off. Was like, I'm working in animation. It's like, okay, the animation, nobody really pays attention if everything's on model when they're just running around, right? That's fine. But when at the moment that you get a still and then you see all this horrible wonky face, and I'm like, guys, get the A guy to draw that one fucking shot, please, because it's gonna be on frame for like a good 5 minutes, flapping its mouth.
Yeah, quickly here, just from the chat, Glorious War says, Mass Effect series had great characters that we still remember in 2019. We are going to forget all the Anthem characters. And Techno Fabulous, thank you again for the bits. Call of Duty. You know. By the way, Sketch said something towards the other guys talking shit about this game. He goes, everyone talking shit about Anthem and using Destiny as an example. Let's bring back memories of how shitty Destiny was in the beginning. It was only through time that it got better. And I need to get on that because I have a big fucking problem with that. Like, oh, it'll get better. Like, no, it should be good now. I don't want to fucking wait.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I started hearing that. I know some people that picked up Anthem, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna get it. We're all gonna play it this weekend." I was like, "No, I'm not." But like, what do you mean? Come on, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Yeah, it's got some issues, but it's gonna get better. It's like, why do I have to settle? Why do I have to pay the full price for a game?
Why are you buying a $60 fucking game and waiting for it to get better? Come on.
Like, no. I'll wait till they get it better, and by the time they do that, the shit'll be in a blowout sale.
And by the way, I need to make this clear. I'm not saying this specifically about Anthem. I'm getting sick of every game doing this shit now.
Yeah,
it's not better. It'll get better. It'll get better.
I just want to.
It's like you're making an investment, like a blind investment, on the hopes that the investment would get better. That's silly.
Yeah, Riku, what were you gonna say, man?
Well, I was gonna say fucking one of my worst games of all time. Fucking Dynasty Warriors 9 did that shit. They've coming up with I think since the game came out, they came out with 20 patches, and each patch has about 20 things that they've changed inside it. So do that math on how many things changed. I think it came out this time last year. Actually, it's been a whole year since that time.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, man, because we still got more fucking questions.
Dude, that's a hot thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
A bit better.
Yeah. All right. Actually, we do got a lot of motherfuckers watching us. Thank you for joining us.
And I'll say them quick. Yeah. I'll say them quick. I just want to pat myself on the back because I was at the forefront and in the fucking at the forefront of shitting on Destiny since day one because it was bullshit what they did, and I feel vindicated. And I did the same thing with the Division. And also, my second thing, speaking of EA, Madden, FIFA, and also games like MLB The Show and NBA 2K, it's just a myriad of other multiplayer games that I usually play. Okay, I'm done.
Oh man, fucking Carlos.
Well,
go ahead.
What are you talking about? I said no to Destiny as soon as I played that fucking demo. I said no. I know what this shit is, and I ain't going.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett. What were you gonna say, man?
I gotta ask, why are most of the criticisms I hear, and like I want to clarify, I'm not coming in here like Mr. Anthem, I love BioWare. No, that's not the fucking case. I enjoy the game. It's fun locomotion, but I think I'm looking at it different from other people because every time I hear people criticizing it, like Ministry's comment, Mass Effect had memorable characters. We'll forget all the characters in this game, very shortly, or I know I'm paraphrasing there, but to my point is, why are you bringing Mass Effect into this? Why do we even have to be talking about this game in the context of BioWare or against Destiny or against?
Well, I think it's because people wanted to see a successor, and that's what they were hoping for with this. They were like, okay,
but you can't be mad at a game. You can't be mad.
Yeah, you
at
can.
a child for not
Free
being
damn country. I'm pissed at everything.
That's stupid. Look, if you're mad at like a kid for not being their brother, like that's a fucking stupid thing. Like if somebody just sat you down blindly and just gave you the game, didn't tell you anything about who made it or what it was supposed to be, like isn't that how we're supposed to be judging our games?
Nope. That's not from developers, no, because a lot of other companies wouldn't get that pass. We wouldn't see people giving Rockstar a pass for certain games like that. No, it's a certain standard. It's a certain standard. If Red Dead came out and was like state of emergency,
dude, no. Okay, I'm calling on this one. Red Dead Online mode is a fucking disaster.
Don't give a shit. I didn't get it for Red Dead Online. We talked about that. We already talked about that. The campaign itself. The campaign is what we wanted. That's awesome.
No, you cannot dismiss.
I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I put my money down. I got my money's worth. I was happy.
The thing is, like, what do you buy Red Dead for the freaking multiplayer? I don't think so.
I don't.
Brett did.
I did, and that's my fucking point. How can they release a hot fucking dumpster fire that is still not working, and they're pulling the wool over our eyes?
I don't know why you're surprised, because that was the same thing. That was the same thing with GTA Online. It took like a year and a half.
Fucking pass,
because it's awesome now. It's awesome now. It took time. and they loved it. It wasn't me though.
That's my point exactly. That's my point exactly.
That's not what I went in for.
Everybody is saying that they're sick of giving all these games the fucking pass, and they're sick of people saying like it'll get better later.
We're literally said that. No, not giving them a pass. That's not what I. No, giving it a pass is like. No, I'm not giving it a pass. Giving it a pass is if, let's say if it's something I wanted and it came out half-assed, and I'm like, don't worry, they'll fix it. I never cared about the multiplayer. I didn't give two shits when they said, "Oh, it's coming a year later," or when they said it for GTA 5, it's going to be a year later. We have some other issues. I didn't give a shit because I didn't care about GTA Online. When they said Red Dead was going to ship without the online, I didn't give a shit. We all heard me say it. I didn't give a shit. I'm not going in for the story.
So you're only sick of people releasing broken games on launch that you don't want to play.
Broken games on launch is my shit. It doesn't matter multiplayer or campaign. Broken.
But no, you just gave Rockstar a pass because that's a game.
The campaign wasn't broken.
No, I'm talking about the multiplayer. You said it's okay for Rockstar's multiplayer to be broken on day one.
What? No, I said I don't give a shit. That's even better. I don't care because I didn't go in for that. I can't win it for the campaign. You see, you're assuming that everybody has to like every aspect of a game. I like campaign. I didn't like their multiplayer. That's not what I went in for. Now, with Call of Duty, my shit was reverse. I didn't like the multiplayer for the new one.
Call of Duty, what are you doing?
I'm telling you my point of view. You just don't like it. You're racist.
No, I'm trying. Okay, no, let's goalpost moving shit right here.
You like dirty nipples and you're racist. Fuck you.
You're crazy. Go ahead, Brett.
I am crazy.
The whole point was you just said you don't want to play Anthem when it releases multiplayer because you know that it's going to be broken. And that's
not that I know it, is that everyone's saying that it's broken. I didn't play it. I told you I didn't play it.
And that's not okay, right?
That's not okay. I just said I don't want it. If it's got all these issues, I'll just wait till they fix them. I didn't shit on it saying I hate it forever. I just say, you know what? I'm tired of all these games that are coming out that have all these issues. And I said, don't worry, we're going to keep patching it to holy hell until we get it right. All right, well then, and that's when I'll take a look at it when they got it working right. Because I've been burned too many damn times.
So you're sick of that, but you're totally okay with Rockstar doing it.
Rockstar didn't do it. They didn't do it. No, because what I wanted was fine. It wasn't broken. The campaign was not broken. I didn't have issues with the campaign.
Release a half.
I finished the campaign. You see, you're looking at for what you want. You cared about the multiplayer. So for you, yeah, that's broken. You didn't give a shit about the campaign. You don't love Arthur like we love Arthur.
By saying it's half the game. By saying
half the game. There's a bunch of aspects of a game that could be labeled as half a game. We don't have to love all aspects of the game.
No, I know, but it's that Red Dead is not just the fucking campaign mode.
It is for me. Okay, if I paid that price, we already seen some games like Battle Royale that is charging a full price just for one mode. Well, I would give that money like I did with Rockstar for just a campaign. If they would have said, "Hey, by the way, we are gonna ship the shit the online separate of different costs and blah blah blah," that's fine because I'm not getting it. I just want the campaign. I want the story. That's what they've always been known for. Great storytelling. You know this.
It doesn't relegate the fact.
To be honest, to be honest, that even from the beginning, Red Dead's online mode was a second thought. That was never the meat and potatoes of that franchise.
Yeah, the franchise was always the campaign. Cowboys.
Brett, go ahead. Finish. Go ahead, man. Get your thought out there.
I'm derailed.
All right. I just want to say this though, in light of everything that's happened, because obviously Red Dead came out with the beta and all that, and I was like, okay, it's a beta, whatever. Now I'm taking back what I said, because when they actually have the full one, I'm gonna be moved on. I'm tired of this. I'm fucking tired of waiting. Like, oh, wait a little good. Fuck you. If you're not good day one, I'm done with you. I'm done with that shit.
The only time I jumped into GTA Online, and this is been the big discussion now, is when it got kooky with those crazy ramps and the crazy races and stuff in the space areas and all that stuff. Now the thing is, can they get that kooky with Red Dead?
They can't. I said that from day one. The online aspect of Red Dead will not be as popular as GTA because you can't go crazy with that.
Yeah,
you can't go crazy.
You can't have DeLoreans and stuff like that.
But me, I'm not giving at least Red Dead Online a pass. Like by the time they get that right, I don't give a fuck anymore. You should have had that shit right in the first place.
But you didn't get it for the multiplayer. Yeah, but you would have been burned. You would have been like, yo, this shit is.
Oh yeah, obviously, but we're talking about just the because you got to partition. It's two separate things here.
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you cared about you were happy with the single player. Brad was upset with the multiplayer. So you gotta
and it was
understand from that
it was
point.
the same price though. They didn't charge extra for it. If they would have charged extra, and I would have paid extra for the online, then yeah, I would have been burned.
It's not a free bonus, goddammit.
It's not a free bonus, yeah, and it doesn't. And there's plenty of games that don't even have a multiplayer, and they charge the same price.
There are plenty of games without a single player that charges
Exactly. It doesn't mean it's right. Don't
so
get it.
just because we're getting the minimum of what other games give us, but it's only half of the actual product we're supposed
Do you know
to
how
be
many hours you
Isn't-
can put into Red Dead
Isn't
in the campaign?
Anthem not a single player game?
No, it's not.
You think they should charge the same price as those that have a single player and a multiplayer? At least for this game?
I see where you're going, and I don't agree with it.
This was a trap.
I do not agree with your premise.
It is an integrated game. It is a open world MMO, which means like, yeah, you could do this stuff by yourself. Although even in this game, I think it might actually prevent you.
Is it an MMO though, or is it kind of an MMO like what Destiny kind of did?
It's an MMO light, like Destiny, like Division. It's not like Warframe in the sense that Warframe definitely has it's more PvP focused. It's like I said before. I feel like I told Tony, my closest comparison is Monster Hunter. There's several pieces of gear.
Nergigante.
Yeah, that it's
Yeah,
but
it's not a boss battle thing. It's you're still fighting swarms of stuff, but other than that, it feels very much similar. Like, oh look, there's 4 different weapons that have 4 different play styles, and you set up the mission from the hub, and then jump out there with up to 4 friends. And if you don't have 4 friends, it'll fill in the holes for you, and off you go.
yeah. Yeah, by the way, that's a very interesting take. It lets me know what you think Monster Hunter is. To me, I'm like, Monster Hunter is, I go kill a big monster so I can wear its skin to kill another bigger monster. That, so
well,
I don't...
That's part of it. Remember in Destiny, how we said one of the qualifying things about Destiny is how you could just be sitting there doing a mission, or I could just be sitting there doing a mission. The other person would just roll up on the hover bike, leap off, and just start blasting everything to hell. Like, that is not what Anthem is. I'm pretty sure that's not an option.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Oh, by the way, I'm not disagreeing with your comparison to Monster Hunter. I'm just saying that's not what I think of when I think of Monster Hunter. But you are technically correct, and like, hey, you team up and you go into the world, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Anyway, yeah. By the way, before we move on, Fergus Mill says this conversation turned to the immovable object / unstoppable force scenario. No one can win. All right, let's move on here. Let them fight. But it's Throwdown, man. That's what it's all about, son. All right, third question. Yes, we only answered 2 questions so far.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. To the old school to the old school gamers on the panel. How did you feel when Sega went third party? Did you go through the different stages of grief?
We know somebody who went through the stages of grief.
Man, I fucking
Our
did.
host.
Yeah, man. By the way, Glorious War, man, you've been watching Throwdown this long. You don't know my story, man. So, also, what happened was I was a huge Sega head back in the 90s, right? Like pretty much after the Genesis, after that point, I didn't look back. I'm like, Genesis, 32X, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, all fucking day, to the point where I had to shit on PlayStation out of principle. I had to hate on it, even though inside I'm like, fuck, that's a better system than Saturn. I couldn't say that shit outward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to keep up the facade, right? So when
That's what the Xbox guys are doing right now.
yeah, I was one of those guys.
Motherfuckers were making fun of me because I had a fucking PlayStation.
Exactly. We were all dogging on Manny, but inside I was like, yo, that shit looks cool. But I couldn't say it, Basically, yes, Riku, if the internet existed back then, I would have been one of those Xbox guys. Exactly like that. The difference is I was 15, so I had an excuse, at least not these 40-year-old dudes. Anyway, so when the Dreamcast died, I thought that was it. I'm like, I guess I'm not gaming anymore. Gaming is fucking dead. I'm like, what else is there to play? Like, I didn't even fathom the idea of getting a PlayStation because that the hated PlayStation. Couldn't fuck with that. I reluctantly got a PS2 because one of our friends sold it to us really fucking cheap, like $150. I think he stole it off the back of a truck or something. I don't know. But
we got the was it the Gran Turismo edition?
Yeah. So I play PlayStation, and I can't. Oh fuck, I can't make that comparison anymore because people get jumpy. But basically, I was Riku. You know what I'm talking about. You were in the old school Throwdowns. You already know my comparison. But yeah, it was like basically. I'll say it like this. I was in a relationship I wasn't exactly happy about, but I did get one thing out of it, so I was okay with it. Even though I didn't want to be in it. It's like I looked at the PlayStation all the time, like, you're not the Dreamcast, man. You're not the Dreamcast. Like I was hating on it, but I liked the games. It wasn't until PS3 that I was like, man, I fuck with Sony now. Like that's when it really clicked for me. But yeah, when Dreamcast died, I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna. For 6 months, I think I didn't play any fucking games except Dreamcast games. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna be playing Dreamcast for the rest of my life. That's how it really was. Happened, Brett.
I'm surprised you didn't move with the rest of the Dreamcast camp into original Xbox.
Oh
territory.
No, that was not even. I was like, a Western company, get the fuck out of here.
Damn. That was back in the I mean, like Tony was like that. Like, man, Western company can't make a good daemon.
Yeah, that's what I was like. No, Westerners making games, get the fuck out of here. Because back in
Atari
those days,
Jaguar was a piece of shit.
Yeah, like back in those days, like if you were in a Japanese company, I wasn't fucking with your game. Very rare when I played a Western game. Tomb Raider and NBA Jam were probably it. It's like the Westerners. I was like, it was disgusting to think about that. So yeah, it was pretty brutal. When Dreamcast, I was like, I guess I'm not gaming anymore. Shit. All right, let's go down the line for the old school. Riku, man, you're not old school. You was born yesterday.
I know I got old school, but I still have a connection to
go ahead,
related stuff, and I think my story is kind of similar to yours, to which and where when the Dreamcast did die.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: when the Dreamcast died, my Dreamcast also died to the point where it couldn't play anything. Like the disc drive in it just couldn't play anything. So my mom was like, "We you need a new console," and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out for the Nintendo GameCube. So I was just like, shit, let me get a GameCube so I can continue to follow Sonic. Just like how, Tony wanted to continue to follow Sega. I was similar where I wanted to follow Sonic Sega, right? So I was like, let me follow. I guess Sonic's going to Nintendo GameCube. I got a PS2. I was fucking pissed. I can't play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on this fucking piece of shit. What the fuck, PlayStation? I had this PS2 sitting here for like 3 months and I didn't play it.
Yeah, and then go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then it was just a blank, and I just remember liking it after that.
Yeah, and then the other second part of the question, even though he didn't ask it, he did say this in the chat room. How did you feel when Sega went third party? I was okay with it because I'm like, okay, I was actually kind of happy. I'm like, oh shit, Sega's back. Because I thought that was it. This company was over. So just knowing they were going to be back, like even if it was on PlayStation, I'm like, great, fucking Sega's still around.
I was happy too because I was like, well, I have this PS2 and now Sonic games are coming here. Sonic Heroes? Oh, let me try that out. And I liked it. Same thing with Sonic Riders and all other games that came.
Yeah, so I was happy when those games started coming out third party, even though I was like, at first I was like, Xbox, I'm not buying that shit. It's like, get that shit out of here. All right, Manny, tell us your experience with the Dreamcast dying and Sega going third party.
I mean, I wasn't as devastated as you were on it, but I was like, I was actually really disappointed, especially with the Dreamcast, because it was a really good console. Like, it's still probably one of my favorite, consoles from one of the previous generations. I feel like if given the proper a shake, I think it could have been a real contender. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where it's like it was like Reverse Town, where in the States it did amazing, but in Japan it was like, everybody in Japan was like, man, I don't want that. So, and then whereas in the Saturn time, it was like the opposite. It was like in Saturn, Saturn was doing amazing in Japan. In America, everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Didn't they just release a 32X like a week before this thing came out? But for me, I was like, that was my biggest disappointment of the whole thing, where it's like, they're going away. And it's like they had so much potential of things to do. I mean, remember all the games that came out for it, and we're like, this is awesome. And as far as the legacy of it, I mean, I've always kind of been sort of a multiple console sort of person. Like, I was never really like a Sega head, or wasn't never really, all about one specific console. It was really what were the games that I could play that I enjoyed for the console. So it wasn't that devastating for me. And when it went third party, I was like, oh, okay, we're still going to be getting these sorts of Sega games, just on different things now.
Yeah. By the way, I think Nate put it really well. He goes, "It felt like a easy transition for Sega. It really did. Like when it went third party, I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't feel like they were betraying us or anything. I just the biggest cut is really just losing that Dreamcast at the time that I felt like it was doing some good stuff, and I do think it could have survived against the PlayStation. I mean, look at the Xbox. And at the Xbox, at what the time it was, did it have a DVD player? I don't remember. Did it?
What do you mean? No, I didn't have a DVD.
No,
player,
it didn't have.
But it had the
DVD.
hard drive.
But it had a hard drive. But I mean, like, I think it could have. I think if given the chance, the Sega Dreamcast could have been that thing. They could have still continued even through the PlayStation era, but Sega pulled the plug because they got cold feet when Japan wasn't doing it so well.
Yeah, I also want to throw in here because he's asking this question because of what's going on right now with Xbox possibly going third party. Got to understand, back then, my craziness aside, there was no real console war shit like that. Nobody really cared. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it is now where it's like people are like dying on hills and shit. That shit did not exist.
No,
in
you kind of
the
went.
90s. You
kind of went with like. I mean, in general, it just. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just kind of went with the game. The games went, and I mean, like there were obviously the diehards, like the Nintendos and the Saturn people, but I don't think. I feel like even then it was just like. I mean, Tony would have died on hell for Sega. I can tell you that.
I did. But I said me aside, it wasn't like that back then.
Yeah, back then it was more the companies doing the shit talking and the fans just sitting there playing the games.
Yeah,
Sega does with Nintendo, and then fucking Crash Bandicoot coming out talking shit. Like back then it was the companies shit talking. Now it's the other way around.
I would actually propose that the fall of Sega is what instigated the console wars as we now know them. Because until then, we all lived in a happily bubbly Garden of Eden where game companies didn't close up shop. Like that wasn't a thing that happened. Like the idea of a company just disappearing like that was kind of unknown. Like you saw developers rise and fall, but like a big console maker you thought was just like an institution. So when Sega kind of evaporated, that was one of the big things.
But that was just because the Nintendo just blocking the market and trying to monopolize.
Yeah, but I think we were all a little young at that point to really realize the intricacies of that. So when Sega went belly up, I don't know if Tony was that way, but at least some of the people I went to were like, fuck, like I didn't think like that would happen. Like I didn't think they would just fucking be done.
Here's the thing, I kind of knew it was going to happen. Like I kind of wanted to deny it myself, but I kind of knew, like from the Saturn days until the Dreamcast, even though Dreamcast was doing really well, I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, I think Sega may be gone one day, and they were eventually. But I mean, we know what I'm saying, it's a manufacturer and shit. So I didn't really
Sega, they failed, but then they came back with another product. It'd be like, if being like, like Samsung put out a TV and it didn't do well, so they're pulling out of the TV market. You'd be like, wait, what? Like they're not just gonna make a different kind of TV? They're just done?
Yeah, because remember back in those days, you still had consoles that came out and never went anywhere. 3DO, Jaguar, so consoles dying and then the company just kind of going away. We saw that already in the 90s. So that happened in Sega, even though it was big because they've been around for a long time, it wasn't that surprising because we've seen consoles and their companies go away.
When did that happen?
What?
Like when did everybody like realize that Sega was out of the console market?
It's right after the Saturn.
It was year 2000 is pretty much.
Yeah, it was right when the PS2 came.
Yeah.
Because for me, they closed down the Dreamcast is what everyone went, oh, for real.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Yeah.
Because for me, like, and I guess I'll be answering next is, I didn't know any of this. Like, I didn't know the Dreamcast died because I got the Dreamcast when it came out. And I played all the games, but I didn't have internet or anything, so I never knew any of these things.
You just thought it was time for the next generation or something?
Well, because so every Christmas and every like birthday, like I would ask for a console. Like I had everything. I had the GameCube, the Dreamcast, the Xbox, and the PlayStation 2, because that's all I ever asked for. So I always had games to play, but I never realized that like the Dreamcast was dying. Like I guess for me, I just stopped buying Dreamcast games to a certain time and just played my PS2 and Xbox.
It's interesting. So you weren't reading any of the magazines or anything?
Oh no, I was
That's why.
definitely like not in the know.
Yeah, that's
Right,
why.
that's why.
I was subscribed to Dreamcast magazine. That shit was sad.
man.
That shit was so sad.
Yo.
2K, NFL, man. That
I
was
They had like
that.
6 issues out, and they're like, "Well, we're closing up shop."
Yeah.
Yeah, like the magazine dying was kind of the first sign, like, oh shit, like something's going on here, Chris, tell us about the death of the Dreamcast and them going third party. What you'd make of all
I'll
that?
tell you what, I was fucking furious, man. I'll tell you what, because okay, I was on the same progression as Tony, except when it went from 32X to Saturn, I was pissed. I had just bought the 32X, and I don't remember what magazine I picked up at the time. They're like, "Yo, Saturn's coming in like 3 months," and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit? I just bought this shit, and you got a whole new system coming out." And they's like, "Oh, it's not backwards compatible." Or what? I'm like, "Fuck you, Sega! You let me down." I was all like sad and shit. I didn't get the Saturn, but then when Dreamcast came out, I'm like, "Oh, Sega's back, baby!" And I got my Dreamcast. I was so happy. I took my N64 to Funkoland. I'm like, "Take this shit, give me a Dreamcast." Like, I was so fucking happy. Yeah, it was like a party, man. And then when they announced like, that they were exiting the market, I was like, "This sucks so bad." I was so pissed off, man. No, I love Sega so much, and when they got out of the market, I was like, "God damn it!" And then Microsoft had the nerve to like, "Yo, you can come over here. Sega's gonna be our bitch now." I was like, "Yeah, fuck you guys."
Yeah, and then they got Shenmue 2.
Yeah, they got Shenmue,
Yeah.
they got Dragon Radio, and Panzer Dragoon Order. I was mad. I'm like, I'm not buying Xbox, man. Get
Yes,
the fuck out of here.
Exactly
What?
what I thought too. I was like,
Oh,
"Fuck
shit.
that shit."
Apparently, I was the fucking shill that time.
No, it was you and Adam. You guys got Xbox.
Oh well, no.
Yeah.
Well, Adam in general, I think is just like the Microsoft freak. He always has been all about that Microsoft. So as soon as they announced there was going to be a Microsoft console, he's like, "Fuck, I already ordered that shit."
He ordered
Because
3 of
they
them.
had the hard drive and they had the network connection. I'm like, this is awesome.
You kind of always had that sort of futurist look at things, where it's like, oh, this has got all this, and it's like, oh, and then the Microsoft thing. I mean, you did buy the Zoom
online, and then the whole Xbox Live online. That was crazy with a headset talking to people. I'm like,
He was
shit.
an Xbot before an Xbot.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris, and what do you think of when they went third party?
In the beginning, I was like, whatever, because I was just kind of threw up my hands, and I was like, this sucks. Because like when they went third party, I was like, there's no hope that they could come back in the console market, and that kind of pissed me off to no end. But then I got over it after a while. I played the stuff on PS2, PS3. Like the Sonic was never the same after that. I mean, those games were terrible.
Yeah, they're
Even though
horrible.
I like Sonic Heroes and Sonic Rise and whatnot, in the back of my head I was like, this ain't shit compared to Sonic Adventure.
Yo, man, Sonic Heroes was. I mean, to me, it was really horrible compared to Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Adventure wasn't even that great to me.
I love Sonic Adventure, and I die by it, but I was just like, this is Sonic Heroes, and everything after that, it just did not have that. It felt like it didn't have that Sega, I don't know, Sega touch to it.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I bought a single Sega game during the PS2 era. I think it wasn't until PS3 that I started buying Sega games again. And then obviously this generation, I've been playing a bunch of them. But PS2, I can't think of a single Sega game that came out in the PS2 era that I played and bought. Just because I didn't feel the games were good. It was mostly Sonic games. All those Sonic games are fucking trash. All right, Brett.
Oh man, I was fucking devastated. I had kind of been on the Nintendo Sega. It wasn't really a console war right now. It's kind of a mild flaming, but I was definitely on the Sega side. I built my Tower of Power, and I was kind of along the same lines as Chris. Like, built my Tower of Power, and they're like, "All right, the Saturn's coming out," and I'm like, "But I just built Megatron." And or built Voltron. So like, what's up with that? Like, there were games coming out for that. And so at the time, every time I went to the store, like I'd go and I'd check on the Saturn and I'd check on the games, and it was pretty much it. They only had nights. They only always had fucking nights. And I'm like, so this is pretty much a Knights machine. I'm gonna hang back, play with my Voltron until this actually starts getting some games, because this is fucking expensive. So I sat back, nothing ever came from it. They announced the Dreamcast, and I was like, all right, cool. This is just a thing they did in Japan. Like, Saturn was just like a Japan thing that, didn't import over here very well. So cool, fine. They're consolidating. They're starting over again. I'm on board. Let's fucking do this. I was rare to go. I loved everything about that machine. I loved all the launch titles. I loved the fucking memory card with the screen in it.
VMU, baby.
I liked the microphone. I love the fact they got Leonard Nimoy to narrate Seaman.
Seaman,
like,
yes.
Everything about that launch was fucking awesome. It was everything that I had ever wanted Sega to be in a culmination. They grew, they expanded, they came out with Check Ride Radio, they came out with Shenmue. Like, this was like the fucking golden age. And then for some reason, less than 6 months later, like, they're just like, and we're done. And I was fucking heartbroken. It was just a sad, tragic time. I was not a PlayStation 2 fan. I kind of felt like the PlayStation 2 console was a complete and total piece of shit. I had PlayStation 1 and I had a PlayStation 2 as well, but I was not going to be transferring over to PlayStation. In fact, I went Team Xbox pretty hard at that point. To kind of segue into the next part of the question, it felt as though Sega were this gigantic, awesome AI intelligence run starship that you had built over a long time and got to know every nook and cranny. And the death of the Dreamcast was like that thing being fucking exploded. And then when I heard that Sega was continuing on as a third-party developer, it's almost like digging through the wreckage and finding that AI and being able to download it into something else. Like, your friend they're not really gone. It was like Baby Groot kind of thing. Like, they're gone. They're not really in the same body, but we kind of have the essence of them. And then when Microsoft came out and said they were kind of partnering, I was like, okay, so basically now somebody came out and built a giant badass mech suit for me to download Sega into. They came out with Jet Grand Radio. They came out with Shenmue. They came out with a console that you could beat a fucking hobo to death with. They came out with the best controller, in my opinion, the giant OG Xbox controller. I was like, man, you could fucking
Duke
rip into this thing. The Duke. And so, like, I was like, and the Duke was honestly, it looked like an evolution of the Dreamcast controller. So, like, everything about.
I mean, they had all the buttons the same there on it. The A, B, Y, and X were all in the same spot.
The everything at the top.
Yeah, everything about Xbox screamed the natural evolution of
spiritual successor to the Dreamcast.
Yeah, basically. So it's like your awesome mech got destroyed, and then you took its core and put it into a new mech, and it came back better and stronger. So I was fucking
and black.
about that. And black, yes, and that thing
black and green, man. That launch.
Like they knew what the Sega fans wanted to see. They're like, yeah, we're like, okay, you want 90s extreme? Here you go, bitches.
Yeah, they were really trying to find a home for the Sega guys, and some of them went, some of them didn't.
I'll be honest though, like, at the time, the best anecdote I can give as to my thoughts on the PlayStation 2 is I watched a friend buy a PlayStation 2 brand new, bring it home, pull it out of the box, hook it up to its TV, turn it on, eject the disc tray, put a DVD in, put the disc tray back in, menu screen popped up, front of the disc tray fell off.
Oh, shit.
And I just looked at him and was like, told you fucking so.
Crazy.
And he's like, what? I was like, those things are pieces of shit. And that was just, granted, it was towards the end of the PlayStation 2 when, man, their manufacturing was shoddy. But, yeah.
Yeah, by the way, quick thing I need to add, because, yeah, there was that because somebody asked me, like, hey, man, like, what are you going to get now? And when it came to the PlayStation, I was like, I'll get a PlayStation because at least it's Japanese. that was my justification for it. I'm like, at least it's Japanese. All right, Adam, what about you? What can you tell us about the death of the Dreamcast and then Sega transitioning to a third party?
Didn't phase me because I just don't have that loyalty. They're just companies. I just go where the games are. So I just already had the 3DO, I had a Sega CD, I had a Genesis, I had a PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, Jaguar. I just didn't care. It's like when I found out that it was gone, I started seeing all the games on Xbox. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, all those fucking consoles didn't add me on either one of those fucking friends lists. Thanks a lot, Adam.
There you go. Exactly. That's it. There were no Euro cards back then. They didn't. It was too expensive. So I just it didn't faze me. You know what I mean? It's like I just had them, and then I was big into like modding stuff. So the Dreamcast was super easy to do. You know, and that was a point and click, and then same thing with the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. Those are easy. So I'm like, oh, why not? But I had them all, N64 and other. So I didn't feel too bad about it. Like it sucked, but I knew the games were still coming out, and I knew they were going to do it on the multiplats, and it moved on. And like, okay, that's it. Like, whatever.
Yeah. By the way,
I want to say I had a PlayStation. I just sat there and like treated it like the redheaded stepchild. Like you sit there and play DVDs and shut the fuck up when gaming time comes.
Damn.
Yeah.
By the way, Brad,
my thing was like that. I was like, again, you're in a relationship with this girl. You don't really like her, but you get the good stuff. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll deal with it. You know, I don't want you in my house, but you give me some good stuff. You know, because I love the games. The games were fucking awesome on PS2. But I was still salty because I had to dump the girl that Brett, I'm sorry. I just need to say the girl I loved fucking died. Not with this other bitch I don't really love. I'm just throwing it out there. Go ahead, Rico. What were you gonna say?
No, I agree with you with the whole like that the look you gave the PS2 when you first got it. You're like,
yeah, I was like, like what the fuck? I don't want you here.
It definitely proved its worth.
Yeah, I love how it snuck its way into everybody's house by being like, I play DVDs, and you're like I can just imagine you're like at Walmart or Target or something like that, and you walk by, it's like, hey, I'm a console, buy me. Like, bitch, you're a Sony console. Fuck you. I don't want to buy you. I play DVDs.
By the way, the DVD aspect of it was not a selling point for me. This is why, because the year before it, then I had spent $400 on a DVD player. I'm like, nope, you're gonna be playing DVDs because I spent a lot of fucking money on you.
Yeah, that's exactly. Here's the thing: me and Tony bought our DVD players around the same time, so the PlayStation playing DVDs was really not a factor. Like we just upgraded to like DVD players, so it's like, yeah, we have a DVD player to play DVDs.
Yeah, well, my thing was like, listen, I spent a lot of money on this DVD player. Like, I'm not gonna put a single DVD in my PlayStation 2. Fuck that,
dude. I remember when my mom said, "We bought you a PlayStation." When that was my first time hearing PlayStation, I was like, "What the fuck? You bought me a Jungle Gym? What the fuck?" I said I wanted a GameCube, and then they just dropped it in my face. Like, what the fuck is this? I thought these motherfuckers bought me a Jungle Gym. PlayStation? This is a station where you just go and play stuff? Like, what are you doing?
What kind of generic ass name is this?
Yeah, that name. Is
I want the thing that has a game game in it, not play.
Yeah, I want a game station, man. What the fuck is this shit?
Low key though, I said the same thing about the Dreamcast. Like, what the fuck is a Dreamcast?
Yeah. By the way, Sketch says, Sketch says that he got shot in the chest, but the Duke saved him.
The Duke.
Yeah. Glorious War says, Sony killing your bitches. I get the hate from Nintendo and Xbox fanboys. All right, man, let's move on here. Mr. Matt Wheaton. So his first question is, considering Daemon X Machina's prototype missions rolled out, are you guys stoked for this game as much as I am? He's talking about that mech game for the Switch. Does anybody care about this thing?
Nope.
Yeah, no, don't care.
Sadly, you think I would care, but I don't.
I like mechs and Switches, but I haven't heard of this.
Nope.
I think there's a demo. That's what he's talking about. But I don't care. I never played it. I'm not a mech. Here's the thing. I like mechs. I don't like mech games so much. Except Virtual On, I don't care about mech games.
Yeah, I mean, I was a fan of Zone of Enders. I like those games.
Oh yeah, I love Zone of Enders.
But I feel like, at least for me, my mech love is not that deep. See, if there's robots in the game, I'm cool with that. But it just depends. I'm not like I wasn't.
Unless you can hijack in them like Titanfall. Titanfall really got me into the whole mech experience. I was like, shit, I really like the fact that I could just get out and get back in and hijack other ones. I'm not just stuck in a big robot.
If it's not a Gundam game, I don't fucking want it. Or Zone of the Enders 3, which we're not getting that either.
Which is never coming.
Yeah, that ain't coming. All right.
Am I the only mech lover on the panel?
Yes.
Oh, okay, if it's giant and robot, I'm in.
All right, so it's on Switch. So there you go, Brett.
I'm into mech animes.
Right, yeah,
That's about it.
Robotech.
I like mech anime, but mech games, whatever. All right, moving on. Next question: what are your favorite games from Platinum Games? He says his favorite is Nier Automata, and he's looking forward to Astral Chain. All right, so what are your favorite Platinum Games? Riku, are you gonna stick with Anarchy Reigns?
Oh yeah. A lot of hate gets for Anarchy Reigns. I don't see it, man. The game is fucking awesome, especially what it wanted to do.
All right, Manny, favorite Platinum Games game?
Favorite? I have so many though.
You got to pick one, man. Like the Highlander.
Man, it's okay. It's gonna be Nier, but honorable mention, fucking Mad World. I love that game.
Nice.
Mad World characters in Anarchy Reigns.
The Wii game.
Yeah.
That's the Wii game. Yeah.
Riku, you want to give an honorable mention?
Vanquish.
Nice.
That one too.
Oh, yeah.
Chris.
It's my hardest Platinum.
Well, I was gonna.
Sorry, Chris. Manny, you forgot Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, no. We don't talk about that on this show.
Oh yeah, we do.
We don't talk about that on this show, man.
That's like talking about Fight Club. We don't talk about that one.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what about you? What's your favorite Platinum Games game, and what's an honorable mention?
I was gonna say Vanquish was my favorite, and Nier Automata gets honorable mention.
Nice.
The Lobotos get Vanquish was fucking badass, dude. I love
Still my hardest Platinum, man.
The one thing about Nier is hilarious is that literally it's a combination of all of Platinum's like beat 'em up games. You literally can put the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance counter system in the game, or you can use the Bayonetta counter system.
It's funny.
All right, Carlos.
Honorable mention to Bayonetta, and Nier Automata is my favorite. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a great game.
Brett.
I'm gonna go with Bayonetta. I have not played Nier Automata.
All right, Adam.
Yeah, I'll just go with Bayonetta. That's the first one is the only one I ever played, and I haven't played any of the other ones by Platinum Games. The only other one I actually did want to play, and it just came and went, was that Turtles one.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the
Ninja Turtles one wasn't a good one. You should play Vanquish, man. I think you'd like that one.
Right.
They also made that Transformers game too.
Yeah, they did.
Devastation. That's a pretty decent
Yeah.
one.
Was that the
Yeah,
one
it was
that was
pretty
the PlayStation Plus one that you were playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
Yes.
I played that one too. I didn't like it, so I just stick with the Bayonetta.
Yeah, for me, my favorite is Bayonetta. You already know, and honorable mention, which is also almost close to being number one, of fucking Vanquish. Vanquish is such a great third-person shooter, man. You know. All right, so that's that. Moving on here. Black Metal Gamer. So his first question is Black. What are some absurd gaming outrages of the past or recent memory? Oh, can I bring up the obvious closest one?
Oh
The fucking-
yeah, wait. Can I guess?
Yes.
This is gonna be Tony's. This is the first thing that came into my head, and I'm pretty sure it's the first thing that came to his head. Crossplay.
No, not within it actually.
The Puddles, baby.
I was in it. The Puddles. Thank you, Rico.
The
Rico
Puddles,
knows
baby.
the
Oh, that's
fucking
right.
Puddles.
Because Tony was in the, Tony was in there, man. He was seeing it and hearing everybody on the outside flipping out.
Yeah, exactly. Because I couldn't say nothing. I was playing the game. I'm like, oh fuck, I can't say nothing. But these people are stupid right now. Well, yeah. So it's
Kofi, we looking at you, baby.
Rico, I got to tell you some shit after the show. So it was Puddlegate / Downgrade Gate for Spider-Man. Such a stupid thing. And also honorable mention, Jump Gate for God of War. Remember that bullshit? Oh, there's no
Oh
jump.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Carlos, go ahead since you were talking.
Oh damn! Now I have to think of something.
All right, I'll come back to you. Riku, man.
Yeah, come back to me too.
Yeah, motherfucker. Who's ready with an answer?
What was that? I sort of got
The outrage.
Yeah, what's one of the most memorable gaming outrages you remember? It could be from any time, recent or the past.
So memorable outrages. It's got to be the whole Fallout 76.
Ooh.
That was an outrage. People were
You
really
started
bamboozled about that.
another throwdown right now.
That's it. That was a whole big like, what the hell? People just went nuts on that. So to me, that was like the biggest one in recent years. I've never seen anything. I mean, if someone would have told me this was going to happen with them, I was like, no. I with Bethesda, no.
Oh,
no.
Chris, say it. You already know. Say the big one that happened too, related to that.
But wait, real quick though, Black Metal Gamer, stay into the end because I have a question for you.
All right, he's not even here. Anyway, Chris,
Black Metal.
And
yo, Chris, I'm just gonna say one word, man. Diablo.
Oh man, yeah, the BlizzCon fail, man. The Diablo announcement. Holy shit.
That's pretty sad.
I got one that's pretty old. That's memorable.
Right.
Because Xbox guys will never let it die. PS3 Apocalypse, man.
Yo, yeah, the oh my god, that whole conference, son. You know.
Well, their conference after it, but the fact that PlayStation Network was down for an entire month, and they were just like, and PlayStation guys, was flipping out. You know, the Call of Duty ones, man. I'm getting the Xbox right now. I'm tired of this. They fucking left. They fucking never turned back, and that was the crazy ass. I was in the middle of platinuming a single player game, so I didn't care. But the outrage around me was ridiculous.
Don't you guys have phones?
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris, you have another? Yeah, do you have another one, man?
No, I mean the outrage that Bethesda alone stacked up for Fallout 76, because it wasn't just like the gameplay; it was the collector's edition, it was the extras that were supposed to come after the bag, and then we just talked on last Throwdown about the guy got kicked for he was cheating, but the 900 hours gameplay, people are outraged over that just because on the surface it looked like they kicked this guy for playing too much.
Yeah. Also, I got to throw this one in because, you know, journalists do a lot of bullshit too. Remember Dragon's Crown? Oh, the women are too
entertaining.
Yeah, like come on.
From our boy.
Yeah.
Can I throw in Kingdom Come?
Oh, but yes, you can.
That was a stupid controversy.
Yeah, that
We're
was
making
ridiculous.
a historically
Remind me what the Kingdom Come one was?
Basically, they were mad that there's no black people in a game that takes place in 13th century Denmark.
Well, more than that, they were making a game placed in 13th century Denmark, which main thing was incredible historical accuracy, like down to the point where you're like, all right, you're splitting hairs at this point, and they didn't portray people of color because there weren't people of color there, and people got super pissed. Like, look, there's never been a whiter place or time that has ever existed than 13th century Denmark.
Yeah. Like, you don't get whiter than that, you know? Like, you need White Walkers to get whiter than that.
Yeah, the darkest people you would see there are probably somebody with a tan.
Yeah, but they'd probably be accused of witchcraft. Like, how did you get that color?
Yeah. By the way, who was that sketch? He said the same controversy happened with The Witcher 3. They were mad there was no people of color. I'm like, but if the game's supposed to be based on, like, you know, Polish folklore, you know, come on.
It is, but I mean, I'll be honest.
But at least with that, you could have black people in it because it's a fantasy. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's fair. Well, and even then,
just to be fair, you know,
it'd be way easier to be like, well, and here's the thing, like, I have no problem with them putting those kinds of people in games. Like, if they're like, look, this person doesn't seem like they fit the setting, they're like, oh, they're traveling from a foreign land. But if you're in a fantasy game, you could just be like, oh yeah, they traveled from a foreign land.
Yeah, there's a Salador Sand in every corner, man. You can get them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, speaking about that Resident Evil 5, remember that? Like, just the fact that it was set in Africa.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
So, I'm gonna name my controversy. The fact that David Hayter was not in the Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, yeah.
And the honorable mention is the Konami Kojima thing. For
that was big.
Are these stupid or justified?
No, they could be both. They could be both.
They can be stupid or justified.
Okay, the Cuphead controversy.
Oh,
oh my!
Wait, which one?
Jump Dad. Oh yeah, that's right. There's two Cuphead controversies. That's right.
Wait, okay. So, okay.
Takahashi gameplay, or
okay, there's Dean Takahashi who couldn't play the game, and then that the game was ableist, and there's 3 of them. That it was ableist and that it was racist.
Yep.
Oh, because
it's a
I
kid.
forgot about the second two completely. Actually,
Yeah.
and people really just do not like to be disappointed in themselves, do they?
Yeah.
Also, one I got is the outrage over fucking Metal Gear going multiplat, and the
And
outrage
Final
of
Fantasy 13.
Final Fantasy going multiplat. Yep.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 13. That
People were
outrage was
losing their
heavy.
fucking minds. Yeah.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
I remember I was in the middle of a match of Warhawk when I heard Final Fantasy 13 went multiplied, and people were leaving the server. I was like, "What the fuck? Why is it affecting my match?"
Oh, by the way, I've seen some preemptive strikes, and I'll clarify. The whole
Adam, stop
thing
clicking
with
on the pen, bro.
no, he's playing a game, man.
It's fine. Go ahead, Carlos.
the whole thing with Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass going to the Switch, that's gonna stir up so much shit, yo.
I've seen a lot of people actually happy. I know a lot of buddies that are just strictly Xbox, and they have a Switch and they're happy because they were like, "Well, I'll finally get to take my Xbox games on the go and earn Chivos on the go."
Not the ones that I follow, or at least the Xbox people that I follow. A lot of them are like, they're waving the white flag on Xbox.
Waving the green flag.
The green flag.
Yeah.
Some of them say I'm going to lose respect for Xbox. I've seen a lot of things about this, and
didn't Tony, didn't you get catch some flack off of that shit too when we started mentioning that?
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are a bunch of ponies. You just hope that happens so Xbox dies. Now, but here's what I find interesting: those same guys that were saying it's never going to happen, now they're embracing it. Oh yeah, this is great because these guys are, they're on the plantation. They go with all this shit. Anything Xbox does is great, even if they would have dissed that a week ago. It's hilarious.
Yeah, by them.
On a relevant note, can I just bring up where's the secret sauce?
This is the secret sauce,
man.
Secret sauce.
It comes in a small side packet. That makes sense.
A little ketchup packet.
I think literally,
damn.
if you want to know about like the biggest gaming controversies of the last like 5-6 years, literally listen to every throwdown we've ever done.
Yeah, we kind of hit a lot of them.
Hit all of them, man. Ever since 2012, it's crazy. Anyway, let's move on, man. What are some games that have great fan service? Final Fantasy 15 and Tekken 7 for having classic songs to unlock, and Smash Brothers in itself is killer fan service. Now, when he means fan service, he means like, literally
titties.
fan service. No, not titties, not titties.
I'm just kidding.
Other fan service. See, Riku beat me to the punch. I was gonna say like he means literally fan service, not titties.
Yeah, old school service. Yeah, not the new school shit.
I would say, The Witcher 3, like that. Remember, they give you that little booklet. It's like, hey guys, thank you for buying our game. We're not gonna make you pay for anything extra. I kind of consider
Sonic
that
Mania
fan service. Sonic Mania is a huge fan service game.
Oh God, it's built off of fan service.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so is Mighty Number 9.
Ew. That's like the opposite of fan service. That's like fan disservice.
That's
I
Sega.
think it's more like an Egger suit.
That had the 50 games in it.
That's like fan service gone wrong.
Yeah, that's fan disservice.
Yes, exactly. All right, so what are some fan service games that you're like, okay, these motherfuckers, they went all off for the fans?
Halo, the Bungie with Halo 3. Not only do they do like a lot of things in the campaign, like skulls and stuff like that for people, and like different things where they have little Easter eggs everywhere. They also released Forge on Halo 3, which made everyone be able to create their own maps. So for a console, that was huge, and that was like some of the biggest fan service that I've ever seen.
I would say as a former fan of the Dynasty Warriors / Musou games, I would say Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. The game had over 120 characters, and it had a couple of crossovers with Dead or Alive characters like Ryu Hayabusa, Ayane, and Rachel from Ninja Gaiden, and even some Soul Calibur characters like Sophia. It was a nice fan service to people who like those games.
That is not historically accurate. Sophia.
John D'Arc's in there too. She's historically in there. But yeah,
All right. Anybody
That's
else
a good
got
one
any fan service games?
Fan service.
That Master Chief collection.
That's I was that's
You
that is
know,
that's
it had
that's
some
fan service,
issues,
yeah.
but they were really trying.
Some issues.
Well,
That should
whatever.
ruin. That should ruin my freaking.
Yeah, but I mean, they tried. The intentions, the good intentions were there. That shit had everything.
Oh yeah. No, well, you bring up a good point, Tony.
Yo,
Remember we were playing and you press the select button on the Xbox button
yeah, man.
on
You
the
go back to the old school,
graphics.
Yeah, that shit is
Switch,
dope.
yeah,
That shit's
offered
crazy.
that. That was like,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna put it, make it. You could play the old game.
Yeah, that's fan service right there.
or even recently the Sega Genesis collection that had the 50 games in it with all the
Or
fixings.
the rare replay.
Yeah, rare replay. That's fan service. Although the recent Sega collection's kind of shitty because they don't have Sonic 3 in it. The ones before that did. Like, come on, son.
Yeah, man, give me my Sonic.
Yeah, right. I got it on PC, so I'm good. All right. Anybody else? Fan service games.
I'm trying to think if a lot of what you guys are saying counts as fan service because it's usually material in the game that's added there specifically to please the audience. So like Easter
Please
eggs
the
and
fans.
callbacks and things like that. But I don't know, doing something like as much as I like your answer, Tony, about CD Projekt Red. I don't know that necessarily counts. That's being courteous, but I don't think that counts as technically fan service.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. So I'm going to go with one of the other answers I gave then. I think you're right. It has to be something within the game itself. Sonic Mania is obviously the big answer. That whole game is fucking fan service. It's fan service in like physical form, or digital form.
Exactly. I want to throw in 3D.com or 3D Heroes.
Oh my god, yes. That whole game is fan service. Like, you like old school Sega, motherfucker? Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, because even those, some people don't like those type of games, and there's one thing that people always say as far as that game in particular is like, it's just a fan service game. So the fact that people even throw it under the bus and then say that they're con is, it's just a game of fan service. They don't really do anything, but they'll still say fan service should show you that at least if there's one thing that they definitely shove down your throat is that.
Yeah, Manny, you're gonna like Fergus's answer. Manny, and this technically, not technically, it's perfect. Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said that too.
Yep.
But yeah,
the third act is a fan service.
The third
Shadow
act,
Moses, right?
Shadow Moses, and third act was where he.
Well, Shadow Moses is the fourth act. Third act is where you learn everything. Like you're.
It's what Eva, right?
Yeah. Like, hey,
where she literally does the information, the freaking drop.
Yeah, it's like get a sandwich, kick back and relax. You're gonna be here for half an hour.
You're gonna be half an hour, and we're gonna explain to you the whole series, all of Metal Gear Solid, from Metal Gear Solid 3 all the way till later on.
Yeah, no, but you're right.
I got another good one.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
That is fan service. Like, you
started doing those crossovers, man. Yeah. It was nothing but fan service all the way to Marvel vs. Cap. Yeah.
Like, hey, yo, you like X-Men? You like Street Fighter? We got something for you, man.
Dude, Monster Hunter. You like Mega Man? You like Witcher? You like Street Fighter?
You like Dante? You like Horizon? Here you go. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hello, Brett's dog. I love how you can tell us a dog. Just by the sound.
The shaking of that. The shaking of
the flappy ears. Like Brett and I talked about it like before. It's like you like instinctively know when a dog is around, even if you can't see a dog. It's interesting. All right, Axel Wolf. So he goes, there's been a lot of well-deserved shade thrown at Microsoft this generation, but one key feature that no one ever talks about is Xbox Game Share. I play a lot of my third-party games on Xbox because of this feature. What are your thoughts on Xbox Game Share, and do you guys think it'll be a feature on the next Xbox?
Firstly, explain it to me, because I'm a Sony pony, so I don't know.
I don't use Xbox Game Share. What I use is
Adam, explain it
PlayStation Share.
because I had to like look it up. I'm like, I think you could like apparently you could let somebody else log into your account and play your games. So, it's something like that.
I mean,
right?
you can do that.
That's an older feature, as I remember.
You can do that regardless. I mean, if anything, the share feature of this generation that's amazing is what's on the PlayStation.
Share play?
In fact, yeah, the share play is badass.
Share play is nice.
Yeah,
Because then can you just let someone share? They don't even need to own the game, and that's the whole misconception. I know so many people is like, yeah, but I know I need the game too. That's no, you don't. And a lot of them, especially if you want to do just a head-to-head gameplay like FIFA and all those, and you don't need the game.
Those local versus games.
Exactly. You can just take your play number 2. Are you kidding me? No.
Yeah, really. I'm going to be honest. I think the reason a lot of people don't talk about it is because a lot of people don't even know it's there.
That's what I'm saying. They don't really advertise it.
Yeah, they don't. So that's probably why. You know, think about it. Carlos, did you know that shit was in there? Did you use it?
Nope.
See? Chris, do you use it?
No.
Adam doesn't use it. I don't use it. So, yeah.
I use the shit out of it, but that's one of the reasons why I'm constantly yelling about how there need to be more couch co-op games because
you mean game share or share play?
It's Xbox game share. It's a different.
Yeah, we're talking about we're talking about game share right now, Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about.
I mean,
Come on, bro. You don't play multiplayer games?
Oh man! All right, so
I don't know how game share works, so I can't really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, none of us know.
None of us know, and we own Xboxes, so we can't really. I think that's the thing. If we're like that, that's probably the same for a lot of people. So that's probably why you don't hear a lot about it.
As I remember, I remember from the beginnings of Xbox One, that was one of the features that they touted, where it's like game share between friends and family members and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it was actually sharing the whole game. I didn't know they actually implemented that whole feature where you could give a game to a friend, because that's what they were saying. It was like after 30 days, if you had a friend that was on your account for 30 days, then you can share basically the game. So they have rights to the license. You can't play that game anymore. It's still yours, but you're giving them rights to play it, and then they get to play it for free. They get to download and play for free on their console. Yeah, but I didn't know they launched it. I mean,
no, it's been there since day one, basically. But none of us use it. So, and like I said, if we don't know about it, that's why nobody else knows about it either.
But I mean,
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Riku.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as not a lot of us, if not none of us, knowing what game share is, the fact that we had to mention share play and how good of a feature that has been. I agree with Brad. As far as share play is definitely something that is really good when it came to. I'll just hop into a fucking party chat and I'll like a new game just came out. Oh, really? You throw it up on share play. It's not that I want to play it, but I just want to chill back since I'm not doing anything right now and watch you play it, because that's what you would do back in the day when your friends got a new game. And they're going to be playing it. You're not going to be playing it. That's their new game. They're going to be playing it.
Me and a buddy of mine.
Yeah, you go to their house and you just chill and watch them play that new game that they bought for themselves. You didn't really come there to play the game. You came here to see, watch them play it. So share play is cool for that too. I'm like, oh, cool. Like Anthem just came out. Jamaican was playing it. I was like, hey, throw it up on share play, and I watched him glitch out the fucking map, but it was funny.
Cool.
Yeah. A buddy of mine did that with Mad Max. We just took turns. So he would drive, and then when we got to a base, then I'd take control and then I'd go and kill in the base, and then when we got back to the car, he took control.
Cool. All right, moving on here. Johnny W. Uppercut. So this first question, a little vague, so I'm going to let you guys just take it where you want. Is there an idea from another form of entertainment you believe could be better in a video game? I don't exactly know what the fuck that means, so I'm just going to let you guys take it where you want to take it.
I think he's saying, is there like a movie that would work better as a video game, or is there a book that would work better as a video game?
Let's go with that, just to give us an anchor there. All right, so yeah, what do you say?
I feel like Ready Player One would have been an amazing game, but a completely ambitious undertaking.
I feel like Sword Art Online would be a better video game than an anime.
I feel like Sword Art Online should actually be online.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there are.
I feel the same way about Dot Hack, which is essentially the same thing.
Yeah, because there's plenty of Sword Art Online games, but none of them are online. Ironically enough. I don't really know how to answer this question. Go ahead.
guess here's an example that I'll do because it's a doozy one. Does anyone remember Eye of Judgment on the PlayStation 3 with
Yeah,
your
I remember
PlayStation
that.
Eye
Yeah,
camera?
PlayStation Eye, yeah.
Mhm.
That was a really innovative game and setup. And I feel that games, well, popular card games like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh could have benefited from the way that Eye of Judgment had it set it up, where we've all seen at least one episode of Yu-Gi-Oh where they put a card down and Dark Magician will come up in a holographic form in front of it. If the PlayStation camera did something like that, I think that would have been cool. So I think that's probably as closest to that question that I could possibly think of. I'm surprised. All I'm saying is that I'm surprised that whoever owns the rights to you did not make a game similar to Eye of Judgment, because they got Yu-Gi-Oh games out there, but
Yeah,
not like that.
yeah. We'll talk to Konami.
Oh yeah, Konami does own Yu-Gi-Oh. Fuck,
Yeah,
jeez. Well, they're fucking everything over, so that's probably why.
Yeah. Anybody else? I'm having a hard time answering this question, to be honest. Like, because I'm like, leave it at the own medium. I don't need to see it as a game.
I think there are things that could work better in theory. They're just too far. Like, and I know I'm probably gonna catch flack for this one, but like, I almost feel like Steins Gate may work better as a game than it does.
Carlos.
All right, let's settle down with that, man.
Hey, but there is Steins games though.
Steins Gate technically
Well,
started off as a
well,
game.
yeah, Brett. To give you context, Steins Gate was a visual novel first before it was an anime. It was on Xbox first before it was ever animated.
Well, no, I mean it's an actual game. Like the concept of changing the timeline and then having to figure out how you change the timeline and how you interact with the people in it. Like a lot of the core foundation of that anime, as good as it is, I think would work really well in a video game.
Go play Radiant Historia.
I mean, I don't think a game could encapsulate the greatness of what is Hyohim Kyoma in a video game fashion.
Fair enough.
Like I said, the closest thing you could get to that is a game called Radiant Historia. Go look that one up.
I definitely will. I feel like anything that would make a better game would have probably been a terrible movie, like Mortal Engines, for instance.
Oh my, yeah, that sounds like a cool game, right? But that movie, looks stupid. Like, hey, our cities are fighting each other. Like, all right, man.
The Cars games would probably be better as a video game.
Well, they do have Cars games.
Cars movies.
Yeah, they do.
They made the games.
They made the games,
but those are video game adaptations.
I would like,
which I'm pretty sure are terrible.
Yeah.
I think the spirit of the question is like, if they made a good game instead of a movie.
Okay, because that's what I'm having a problem. Like the only thing that's
simple for some of them. John Wick, that could have been a great game. It's like a modern version of Boiling Point, Max Payne / type game.
It depends on who made the game. Like,
but John Wick
would have been cool. Go ahead.
John Wick is a great movie franchise. Like, I don't know why you like.
No, it's not to kill it. I'm just saying that
I don't think it would make a better game than it would a movie. Is the
thing about it would have had all the driving elements and stuff.
I think that depends. That depends on who you give it to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The fact that you had to tell us that means a lot. And that means it's not a factor. It's like, oh yeah, a VR game. Really? A lot of things have VR games nowadays.
Well, Kingdom Hearts has a VR game.
Batman has a VR game.
Part of this year, it has a game, and I'm like, it's not going to be good.
Mobile game. I wouldn't want to voice anybody because I'm so in love with the actual voices of the people that we usually play.
Hold on, did I ask that? Hold on, I need to ask something. I think I was muted. Okay, if you guys could voice any character from any game, who would it be?
The chick from Dragon Quest XI.
You, Carlos, you want to voice her?
Yeah, because anyone can do a better job.
That'd be fucking hilarious. That would be hilarious. I love that actually.
Carlos, you should voice all the people in Oh my god, Octopath Traveler.
Oh, that too, man. So I've been playing a little bit of Dragon Quest 11, and the girl has the worst British accent I've heard since Octopath Traveler. It's horrible, man.
Which
Like,
one?
The 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 friend for the village.
Oh, her. I didn't even realize that. You know.
Yeah, it was horrible. I was like, oh man, like it made the game experience worse, like bad. Like I was like,
So it sounded like a caricature of a British person, like, "Oh, I am a British person."
yeah, and not only that, like it would go from British to like American and then back, and it's like, man, who
It
the hell
sounded,
is this?
more like a Scottish accent to me. But it didn't bother me. But don't worry, Carl. She's not really that heavy in the game, so you're good. You know, once you get out of that
Yeah.
village, you'll be straight.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, I dipped. I'm like, thank God I'm leaving this place.
I have mine.
Go ahead.
I like to do the voice work for Train, the main character for Mark Echo's Getting Up. That would have been fun. That was a fun game. You remember that with the graffiti and then jumping on the trains and stuff like that, and people chasing you? That was awesome. I'd like to do the voice work for that. I didn't like his voice.
He didn't sound like a New Yorker, I'm sure.
It's just something about it didn't sound right. I was like, shit.
It was some dude from LA. Like,
Yeah,
hey guys,
probably.
I can do a New York accent. What are you talking about?
I love that game. I wish they made a sequel.
Everybody sounds like they from Brooklyn and Italian.
I think I told you about when I went to go meet Mark Echo that time for when I was working at the magazine, and they had an arcade machine for Getting Up, and I'm like, I didn't even know they made an arcade machine.
I
And he's
actually,
like,
it's funny because I've actually been in that office before.
the complex one
No,
that was near your job. There was one right there.
the one
between the Flatiron.
the one that was
Yeah.
near my old job. Yeah, that one I've been into because I had a friend that was a friend of a friend who was a designer there at Echo.
Yep, I went to that one, and then his warehouse location that was out in Jersey.
The fun thing
Joycey.
about Echo though is that he like what they used to have like a satellite store, and they used to throw all the stuff, all the Echo gear that wasn't like off, like off in some way in a store that was like a few blocks down. So you could get like cheap, super cheap Echo stuff, but sometimes the arm was a little bit longer, or, there was like it was backwards.
Did you remember when he had the Marvel license and they started doing Punisher? Think if that shit came out now.
Oh yeah, it'd have been crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah,
but anyway, we're in that.
I'll let you guys go off. Yeah, I'm with Manny. I don't really want to do a voice for any characters.
Yeah, I don't. I just like some people just like, at least for the characters that I like. I probably, if anything, I would probably want to do a character I didn't like the voice of.
See, and that's where I think
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what we asked.
That's what you're missing out, Tony. I'll tell you my answer. Navi. Navi
You'd be like, hey, listen.
Hold on, my brain.
I think that would be the great thing, like to hear just some random stoner ass motherfucker be like, "Hey, listen."
I'm thinking about doing Navi, like trying to do her, like, "Hey, listen."
No, like
this is literally your own version of the whole thing.
Navi with your voice, Tony.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do a character. I need to sound
If
like
anything,
them,
I would probably want to do the voice. If anything, I would want to do the voice of Sonic because I feel like every single incarnation of Sonic's voice is horrible. Like,
hey, I'm Sonic.
with the exception of Urkel. But man, everybody's like, "Hey guys, I'm Sonic. This is the way I sound." I'm like,
Sonic's funny. Speeds
Sonic go fast.
Is that how he's gonna sound in a new movie?
Probably.
He's gonna sound like this. Hey, I'm Sonic.
I mean, how would you sound? Yeah.
I go
Hugh
fast.
Jackman.
So yeah. Anyway, Riku, go ahead.
I think it would be fun if I did the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Right,
I'm not going to do it for you guys.
I was gonna say, give us an
We're
example.
gonna be going against each other. I'm like, hey, Shadow, I'm gonna kick your butt.
Your weakness disgusts me.
There you go. All right.
This is like,
Yeah.
your weakness disgusts me. Like he had like some like solid
I feel
voice.
I feel the new Shadow voice actor that's doing it for Sonic Boom is really bad. He sounds like, I don't know, does not sound like Shadow.
All right. Chris.
Oh, I would not like to voice any character. I mean, I appreciate like so much voice work from like animation and current video games. I couldn't do a quarter of what these guys do, man.
How about like again a game that had really really bad voice acting?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know. I mean, the last game I could think of with bad voice acting is like Octopath, but I think if I did a British accent, it would sound like Pirate Brian.
Pirate Brian.
Boy, which way to the inn,
Oh,
please?
Tony.
Tony.
Like, I want to hear Tony voice Cortana.
Wait, what?
Oh, Master Chief, the flood are coming.
Nope, your regular voice.
No, but you have to be the character though. That's what I need to do.
Necessarily. You do
That's the thing. That's the thing with Brett. Brett wants a twist on the character's
See, I can't do that.
voice.
Like I need to try to be
Yeah.
as much
Tony's
as
gonna
the
be
character
like-
as possible.
Tony's gonna be like, "So, Chief, where are you going?" Finish
Kinda-
this
kinda
fight.
like what,
And Tony's like, "You know."
kind of like what
Hey,
Peter
there
Dinklage
you go.
did to,
I want to be Master Chief. So I only got 3 lines. You know.
I think
I need a weapon.
You're not gonna agree with this because you're gonna argue with me that you don't have a New York accent. But to hear like a random New York guy be like, "Hey, yo, the flood is coming."
Why would I say yo?
Tony
though?
doesn't sound like
Yeah,
that.
I don't sound like that at all.
No, but I can't do Tony.
No, that's
so
my-
Brett,
fuck
do
that,
you
fuck
add
that.
all kinds of additional New York isms to the way Tony talks?
Like, hey, I'm walking
Yeah.
here.
It's a-
We
you
take
guys
out the garbage.
I think the
Take out
issue is
the
a lot of
garbage.
people mistake a Jersey accent for a New York accent. Thanks to fucking Sopranos. That's the problem.
All right, that's my answer. Master Chief. I only have like 3 lines. Like,
I need a weapon.
yeah, I need a weapon. You know, like I could actually. You know what? I'll do any of those gravelly guys. Fuck that. I'll be Cole McGrath. I'll be Snake. I'll do all those guys, man.
I'm Cole McGrath.
I'm Cole McGrath, and I'm gonna save the city. You know, I could do that shit.
You know, that is not.
I'm not gonna
a-
say as a character. You know,
Oh, why not?
because
You're gonna add extra your nose to
I'm not gonna
everything.
do that.
But we're
Like, that's
hiring
not the-
you, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I need to be the character as much as possible, man. Come on now. Like, you got to be in character.
Yeah, you
I'm
must be
Cole
authentic, man.
McGrath, and I have
But
electric
you
powers.
don't realize a lot of the tone and the way that these characters go are decided by the voice actors. That's why they're actors.
And that's why he's trying to keep
Yeah,
it
so I'm
as
trying to
always
act.
in this-
Yeah, so I'm trying to act. You
He's
know?
trying to keep it authentic to
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
the
like not every character has. I mean, usually in the script they say, "Yeah, is a New Yorker." You know, they'll say something like that.
Yeah,
they won't
like-
just say,
Yeah,
"Hey, listen, you're gonna play Solid Snake now, and you can do whatever you want." All right, I'm Solid Snake.
I think what
Yeah.
Brett is referring to is how drastically the character of Tony Stark changed when Robert Downey Jr. started being Tony Stark.
You mean,
my thing is, like, if
actually
I-
giving him a
Yeah,
personality?
but my thing
Yeah.
is, like, if
because of Tony Stark didn't
Yeah.
have a
By the way-
personality.
Yeah.
I know.
By the way,
He was
if,
a drunk. That was his personality.
but my thing
When
is,
I
like,
first heard that
I'm
movie,
gonna-
man, I thought it was
Nonetheless,
gonna
is
bomb.
if I'm going to be a
nonetheless, it's
pre-established
drastically
character,
different.
I'm going to try to honor what came before that. So I'm like, Master Chief,
Yeah.
that's easy. I could do that. You know,
But
That's
what
easy
if you
done.
were the Master Chief?
how would I voice him? I'd probably do the same thing, just a gruff '90s character, like video game character voice. You know, we're gonna stop the flood. You know, shit like that, or like Duke Nukem. You know,
You
I
can
could do
also
that shit.
voice a
Hey,
character
guys.
in any way that hasn't been voiced before.
What happened? No, I'm not
So you
doing
can
that. I gotta
also-
honor it, man.
See? Yeah, see, Tony is trying to make sure that he honors the
He wants to
character
be the character. He's gonna
because
be the-
because
You
the
take
thing,
it that way.
Put Vin Diesel under there.
Any of us as non-professional voice actors could voice better than the voice actors who did it.
Well, this is why I have a problem with the question. I'm like, all of us suck. We can't do this. You know.
like how did people feel
there's
when
a big
Peter
difference
Dinklage?
between- there's a big difference between being able to do voices and actually voice acting.
Yeah, but then again, I think all of us would be awesome at like '90s video game character voices. Like I'll be Barry Burton. You know, I can do that shit. Jill, I can do that.
Jill.
You could be the announcer. You
Here's a
could be the
lock
announcer.
pick.
I wonder
Here's
if
a
Barry
lot-
Burton would do a good Barry Burton.
Well, we've actually met Barry Burton.
We bet he's
this
our
Barry
friend.
version
What
of
the
Barry
fuck? We met him once. No, he's our friend.
Burton. Yeah, we met him.
You could be the announcer at the beginning of Altered Beast.
Rise from your
Rise
grave.
from your grave.
I want to
Well,
be.
that usually the way that sounds is just because of technology.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know.
I want
Adam, you could be the voice of Bayou Billy.
Oh,
The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
Oh, shit,
I want to be
remember
the
that game.
announcer. I want to be
Jumping
the
on
announcer.
alligators.
Yeah, I want to be the announcer for Marvel's Capcom Street Fighter. Are you ready, true believers? Capcom and Marvel have joined forces once again to bring you,
Marvel
Marvel's Capcom
superheroes
versus Street
versus
Fighter.
Street Fighter. I want to be the voice of
I want to be the Street Fighter Alpha guy.
Super
Street Fighter Alpha.
Round one.
Fight. Yeah, I want to be the
Fight.
Oh man, or Mortal Kombat people.
I
Finish
love
it.
I love the Mortal Kombat voice actor, like flawless victory. I was like, oh god, that guy is just so hammy.
Yeah. By the way, going back to the Dreamcast, remember what Magneto's line was? It was all in my head when it died. The dream is dead. Remember from
The dream is dead, or do not rise against me. The human era is over.
Yeah.
The mutant era has come.
Man, that was good. All right, where the fuck are we?
Purple Disruptor.
Yeah, purple. G Megaforce 123 with uncharacteristically short questions. Usually, my man writes tomes. So first question is, have you ever been compared to a video game character? You guys have wild questions tonight, people.
Welcome
to die. I had to throw that in there.
for me, it was because I tend to wear like military stuff, like military hats and stuff like that. So I went into watch the playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 5, right? And I was just talking to the developers a little bit, and they kind of told me, "Hey, you kind of look like we were wearing Chico's outfit." I'm like, "Chico?
Wow,
Chico."
All right, has anybody here? I have never been compared for obvious reasons.
I haven't either.
I've tried to, when I was like really young, I tried to be like Sonic. I used to run a lot. I used to eat chili dogs. I used to be like, "Hey guys," and no one ever
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast, But
Relate down with chili dogs.
but never actually happened. I never actually got compared to Sonic. Sadly, I tried though.
All right, anybody else been compared to a game character before?
Compared to anime characters, a weird amount, but no game characters.
Interesting. You're telling me they never mistook you for Marcus Phoenix, bro?
No.
Marcus Phoenix.
All right. Next question: has a game ever glitched on you in your favor? I'm gonna just jump in. The second to last boss in Cuphead, that motherfucker with the cards, like he got stuck in one corner. He was above him, like okay, and killed him. After like a fucking day of trying to beat this asshole. And the thing with him is you have to do a boss gauntlet before him. So it's like a level gauntlet and a boss gauntlet before you get to him. Oh my god! But so I got looking like, oh shit, the game fucked up. Adam,
I remember it happening.
Go ahead, Riku.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I remember it happening. I just remember the actual game. Like, oh look, a glitch. He's glitching. Fuck him up. So that has happened to me also, Tony.
Yeah. Adam, what about you? Mr. Vale. I think he fell asleep.
I can go.
Oh, go ahead.
He's glitching right now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's glitching right now.
So, since I've been talking a lot about Halo recently, I'm gonna bring it back to that. So there's this game type called Assault, and remember there was a like they have true Halo 2. This is, and it has true ranking system. So it's like people really cared about their ratings, right? So if they lost, like they'd lose their rank, and I don't know, people look down on you and shit like that back in the day. And there's this game type called Assault, which is you get a bomb from your base and you have to arm it into their base. So essentially they're defending their territory and you have to plant a bomb in their territory. So the thing with that game is as like you can like the game won't end until either you plant the bomb or they kill your team and you're far away from the bomb and a timer goes out. So as long as you're holding into the bomb, the game will continue indefinitely. So there was a glitch, and Halo 2 was had a lot of these. They're called super jump glitches, which is just like glitches within like little pieces where you can do super jumps. Like they were really specific too. You had to like crouch into like a spot, and then you jump into like a crevice in the graphics that allowed you to super jump. So we would pick up the bomb and super jump out of the map, so they weren't able to get there, and I would just chill like outside of the map where they can't shoot at me, they can't aim at me or anything, and spend hours there until they quit.
I remember you told this story before.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, that's how I used glitch into my favor.
Nice. All right, who
I
else?
think- yeah.
Anybody else? Glitches? Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I had a boss in Bloodborne like glitch into the ceiling in a spot where you could see her. She couldn't hit through the floor, but you could hit them if you use a large weapon or like the Moonlight Sword, something with an overhead swing. And I killed them like that. They just literally did something, floated up into the ceiling, and got stuck there. And it was amazing. I was like, "Oh, this is the easiest fight ever." I just kept swinging overhead and killed it.
For me, it's Father Gascoigne. He kind of had a bit of a glitchiness to him. So I was able to beat him through that because he was certain things he couldn't do, or you can get him because he glitches.
Right, Brett, what about you, man?
Conan had a nice bug where if you were running and looked sideways, your stamina would regenerate, so that was convenient. But other than that, I've somehow accidentally like found duped items in my inventory before, but I generally throw those away.
Interesting. All right, we got one more question, but after this question, we're going to announce the winner. So, Manny, I'm going to text you right now with some names. You could throw in your little randomizer, and when we finish,
send me it in our other chat. Don't text it to me.
Okay, I could do that. Which other chat? Oh, you mean
yeah, you know.
Yes, I'll do
the
that
usual
right now. Just vamping a little bit here. So, yeah, we'll answer this last question. Oh shit. Well, Manny, I'll talk to you about that later. Interesting. All right, so the last question from Annihilator83. What developers do you feel are underrated and why? Riku, I'm going straight to you, brother.
What developers do I feel are underrated? Wonder. The Nihon Falcom, I feel, is fairly underrated because these guys are debatably credited for creating the action RPG genre as we know it. They've been here since the 80s, and damn near nobody knows who they are because during the time of their rise, all anyone cared about was Square and Enix. And, you know, when they combined to Square Enix, you know, their popularity skyrocketed even more. So from a JRPG standpoint, all people care about is, you know, anything that was going on in the Square side when these guys have been making really good games all the way up to this year where they have 3 games coming out and nobody still gives a fuck. So I just think they're fairly underrated. I personally think they're the most underrated gaming company of all time.
Wow. All right. Hello, Adam.
Yo, that was weird. He saw that I got kicked out, and he says I've been blocked from the room.
What the fuck?
I sent you the screenshot.
Yeah,
That
that's weird.
But yet you're here, so I guess my taxes didn't work out.
There you go. You see.
But Adam, since you're back, what do you think is the most underrated game developer out there?
Underrated. There's a few. I think for at least with the Halo 343, I think we haven't seen the best that they can do. You know, they're stuck doing all the Halo stuff, but I have a feeling they can do a lot better. We just haven't been able to see it. Hopefully, we'll see some of that in the new Halo because supposedly it's breaking the mold. It's not going to be the same old Halo that we're accustomed to. But I had a lot of faith with that studio. So I say 343 going into next year with the new Halo.
Interesting. All right, Brett, underrated video game developers.
Come back to me. I'm still thinking on this one.
Okay, Manny.
Underrated game developers. That's a hard one. I would have said Arc System Works, but now people seem to know their name because they did a Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, they've always made stellar like fighting games ever since. They did a Fist of the North Star game. They did the Persona like fighting game. They did a lot of really cool stuff. But it's a little bit hard for me to think of anybody that right now that's like kind of an underrated sort of game developer now. You know what? No, actually, I got it. Ready at Dawn.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, the God of War games.
They made the God of War games. They did those a lot of
God of War PSP. God of War
games.
PSP. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Order, obviously.
The Order. I think they are incredibly talented, and I think they are. I think they just need a little bit more, and they need somebody to see what they're doing that is really cool.
I got a controversial one.
Who?
Especially since they're coming out with a game that a lot of people are just like, what are you doing? This might be the end of you. But before that game that they're making,
BioWare,
Media Molecule.
Oh, Dreams.
Oh,
yeah, I think games that they made prior to Dreams, because I don't know how I feel about Dreams, but games that they've made before Dreams, like Little Big Planet and Tearaway in particular. Man, those guys.
Tearaway's a great game. Yeah.
Tearaway, that was my most recent platinum on the Vita. Just like,
oh really?
God,
yeah, it was a fun game.
That was I haven't seen any Vita game that had used everything, the Vita's little features as good as that game right there. They knew what they were doing.
And that shit with the sun, they use your picture. That shit was fucking adorable, man.
Rear touch panel, you up in the game, and you can fucking kill little enemies and help your guy get through it and whatnot. Like, Media Molecule, that was some good
shit.
Yeah, that was some good shit they made right there. And as a company, I just felt, I don't know what they're doing with Dreams, but something tells me Dreams might be of them, and that's just sad because I feel with Tearaway and Little Big Planet in particular, those were just phenomenal games for what they've done. Yeah.
All right, Carlos.
Shit. Come back with me that one.
Chris.
I'd say it's between two. I'd say Guerrilla Games.
Ooh,
pretty underrated.
Sure.
I believe like going from Killzone to Horizon Zero Dawn, like with all the creativity that went over there is an impressive move. And I was gonna also throw Avalanche in there. The guys who do Just Cause.
Nice.
I got it. So I don't know if anybody mentioned it, but Platinum Games for sure.
I was debating that. Are they really underrated?
Really? I don't know.
I mean, if Guerrilla is underrated, then Platinum definitely is underrated.
I don't know, but I think Platinum Games gets a lot more praise than Guerrilla Games. Because there's one thing. Here's the thing about Guerrilla Games. A lot of people wanted to shit on the Killzone franchise overall, and that was really the only thing Guerrilla Games had going for them until Horizon Zero Dawn. Even though I liked Guerrilla Games and their Killzone games, people never really truly respected them until Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's why because I wanted to say that as well. With Platinum Games, but I'm like, no, they get too many ups.
Yeah, anytime someone's like Platinum Games is shit, you're like, what? There's Bayonetta, there's Vanquish, there's this, there's that, and if someone says Guerrilla Games is trash, we're like, well,
I mean, if you were to compare Guerrilla Games to Platinum, who's the bigger studio, like as far as popularity?
In 2019, Platinum Games.
We're talking about underrated. Yeah, Platinum Games is like.
As far as 2019 Platinum, no, but I understand where you're coming from though. But
like if you tell a PlayStation gamer, like not a PlayStation gamer, a PlayStation gamer, because they're the only ones that get to play Guerrilla Games. But if you ask them, do you know who Guerrilla is? They'll say yes, mostly. But if you say Platinum, I think it's a hit and miss with that.
No, it's not. They all know Platinum. All the PlayStation guys know Platinum.
Nah, they don't, man. I asked my friends.
They're stupid then.
I don't know. I'm surprised
they're like Platinum. You mean the trophy?
Here's the thing: if your friends say they know who Guerrilla Games is, but they don't know who Platinum Games is, my next question would be, okay, I would start saying their games instead of their company. I'm like, so have you heard of Killzone and Horizon? Yeah. What have you heard of Meta, Nier Automata, or Platinum Game?
like Nier and Vanquish are more niche games than Killzone and Horizon are.
They're more niche, but are they more popular than Bayonetta?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
I think it's because Platinum has done so many games that have been well received. Like, nobody gives a fuck about Killzone anymore. The only reason people even talk about Gorilla now is because of Horizon. You know.
Sadly,
but people talk more about Gorilla than Platinum, and like the way I see it.
Nowadays they do.
No,
they don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, I feel
because
Guerrilla Games was at their peak as far in popularity when Killzone 2 was about to come out. I don't even think their popularity with Horizon was as big as it was when Killzone 2 was about to come out.
And we've mentioned Platinum even recently on a couple of shows. Remember the rumor that Scalebound's going to the Switch? Everybody's losing their mind. Like Platinum, yeah, they.
But no one's talking about Platinum. They're talking about
But that is Platinum.
Yeah, that is Platinum.
But no one talks about Platinum. It's
What do you mean? They
Scalebound. This
talked
is
about
for
Platinum when Bayonetta came to
What are you
Smash.
talking about? When
No.
like Bayonetta 3, that's Platinum as well. You know.
Here's the thing: like you guys
about to come out.
Astro, exactly.
You guys are conflating the games with the people who make them, because most people don't see it that way. Most people, when most people talk about Scalebound, they talk about the Xbox exclusive that failed, and that's why it's so popular that Scalebound is going into the Switch. It's like, no, it's not because Platinum is making it. It's because it was an Xbox exclusive that's going into the Switch.
I feel like Platinum is one of the more recognized.
They're more
games
recognized, bro. Yeah,
that same statement you just said. What did people say when they first saw Astral Chains?
I don't know.
I guess you weren't paying attention, but the first thing they said was, "This looks like a Platinum Games game, and I'm fucking down for it."
Yeah, but that's like hardcore people. Like Platinum to me is not a household name when it comes to studios. Like it's prevalent because it has
Gorilla.
Guerrilla Games is
no, neither is Gorilla.
I would say Guerrilla Games would be considered now after Horizon. Like anything they do after Horizon, I think.
But if they get another hit, like people know them from Horizon, but that's their only list. Like Platinum Games has had their name attached to several high-profile, well-received games. But
I still feel like they don't get their fair share of hype.
Man, I get a lot of studios mixed up, and I have trouble remembering which games come from which studios, and even I don't even have to think that hard about which games are Platinum Games.
I think that Guerrilla Games is an underrated studio, but I don't think there is I don't think Platinum Games.
I would disagree with that, because I think Guerrilla Games has to come up with something. Right now they're because Killzone was meh. It was heavily supported by PlayStation. So
I think from a gameplay standpoint, for a first-person shooter, from a gameplay standpoint, I feel that Killzone is a nice refined shooter. The problem with Killzone is everything else about that.
It wasn't a critical success, though. Their biggest critical success
I agree with that.
Horizon. So if they get another big critical success, I think they've established their name. But until then, they're just the studio that made Horizon.
I think, like I said,
pretty much.
Yeah, they are.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
meanwhile, you could associate so many like dope games with Platinum. You know, like Platinum has a reputation. What studio do you feel is underrated?
Oh, Platinum.
Okay.
If you say so.
We'll end it there. By the way, Fergus Mills, Riku, you'll like this one. He says Atlas.
Atlas.
Oh, Atlas.
I don't feel Atlas is underrated, especially with them having Persona behind them.
Yeah,
that's what Atlas is Sega. Yeah, never mind. I don't count.
Yeah.
I don't count.
I gotta throw in there Obsidian.
Fallout New Vegas. They also made
Star Wars: The Old Republic 2.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like are they really underrated? Because they've done a lot of high profile like sequels, you know?
Yeah, but not many people know them, and that's the point. Like they've worked on a bunch of amazing games. They've worked on a lot of people's favorite games, but most people are like, I don't really have every time I'm like, dude, Black Isle Studios, they're like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, fucking seriously, I have to name off a bunch of games. They're like, oh yeah, I did play some of those.
You know what?
You know the people who made New Vegas?
Yeah, you know what? I'll count that. I'll count that.
By the way, Glorious War brings up good points. Bayonetta wasn't a success when it came out. Nintendo had to fucking pay for a fucking sequel for that thing.
Yeah, that is true. But if people know who Bayonetta is and they know who made it, you know.
I think the IP is way bigger than the studio.
Do you think Bayonetta is bigger than Platinum Games?
As
That's
a
interesting.
name, I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
And also, Killzone 2 had a 91 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said. That's why I said earlier. I feel that Guerrilla Games was at their highest in clout when Killzone 2 was about to come out, even bigger than Horizons.
But here's the thing: I don't think sales really matter for this one.
They don't.
People
They
are throwing
don't.
sales right now. That shit don't count. Like
I think it's.
a lot
I
of
think it's
people.
a combination
Yeah.
of a lot of things.
I think people like
yeah. Go ahead.
I think people like us obviously know who Platinum is and
Yeah.
and acknowledge them, but to the average person, I don't think they know who Platinum is.
I think to the average person, they don't know
any. They don't know any.
They don't know what Killzone
Well, no,
is
exactly.
either.
But yeah, that's why I mentioned Gorilla, because that was my point. It's like I agree that Gorilla is underrated, but I also agree that Platinum is underrated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see how you could say that though. So I'll allow
I don't know.
it.
I feel there's a difference between underrated and unpopular, and not
Yeah.
popular to the masses.
Yeah, we gotta not conflate those. For me, I'm gonna go with a studio that could probably become bigger next generation. Ninja Theory. They've never made a bad game in my opinion, but they still don't get their ups. Yeah, they still don't get their ups. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, they still don't get their ups. They make high quality. Every game has been great, and they still, below the surface, which is kind of sad. Also, my honorary mention. I need to do this for the old school fans, man. Treasure fucking games, man. Treasure is awesome. Gunstar Heroes, fucking Alien Soldier, and of course my favorite, Guardian Heroes, but they also made Ikaruga. Come on, great studio, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's gonna be it. So we're gonna announce our winner. So basically, we're gonna give you guys a game of your choosing. That's $60, courtesy of Spawn on Me, and we're gonna name the person right now. Manny, who won the contest?
Well, I'll let you do it because I put it in the chat right there.
Okay, let's do that. So our winner is, somebody give me that drum roll.
Wait. Before we do that,
yeah,
we need to Manny, did you verify they were on the Discord?
Yeah. This actually, we could check that right now, can't we? But I have seen this person talk.
I just don't know if he's on Discord. I don't remember.
I've seen him talk once or twice
on Discord.
Yeah, can we check? Who's in here? Actually, we can, because we can see who's offline or on. Because you need to be on Discord. I don't see this guy here. I think he doesn't qualify.
Dun dun dun.
Right. Manny, give me that re-roll. I love Discord. Everything's here. Yeah, he's not in this. Sorry. I'm not gonna name his name. They'll blow up his spot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Manny. Just let me know. It's great. We could totally verify it right there.
Yep. And there's this thing on Discord we can search names.
Well,
so yeah.
I think this person might actually be in our chat. So let's see.
All right. I'm just waiting for the name here. It's suspense, man. Oh shit. I hope it's a digital code this man asked for.
I know. Just by saying that, I know who it is.
But we'll send you a physical copy if you want, man. It's all good. Our winner is one of our very, very loyal fans, who's very active in the chat, Mr. Glorious War / Hussein Unsal. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations.
My man. All right, so dude, we're already on Discord. Hit me up privately. Tell us the game you want, and we'll have fucking Spawn on Me's buddy, right? They're gonna ship that shit to you to Australia.
Man, and don't worry, man. We'll make sure to send you that Xbox One title pretty soon.
Yeah. Now, but real talk though, if there's any issues, I'll pay for the shipping if that's an issue. But yeah, man. We'll send you the Xbox One game. Don't worry, man. We got you. All right, so congratulations, and again, we want to thank Cicero Holmes for this little exchange. So I'm going to let him know about this, and then they're going to do it on their end, So that should be cool, man. Hey, thank you, brother, for being a loyal listener and viewer and all that other stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking awesome. Man. All right, Riku, man, thank you for joining us, and surprise, Riku's going to join us again on Thursday, people.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for the throwdown, the real throw. Man,
the real throwdown, you see, it's fake throwdown when Riku's not on,
Yeah,
I'm on the filler throwdown. I'm gonna be on the canon shit coming up.
Yeah, you think about it. This show's the spinoff.
Yeah, it's the spinoff.
So he's gonna be on the real one Thursday, man. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. So let me put up the little graphic here from Mr. Subgator. All right, so yes, if you want to ask us questions for next week's show, you have to join our Discord. And in there's going to be a section for your questions. It's making life a lot easier for me. So I'm glad you guys are doing that. Here are the steps right here. Step 1, join our Discord. Step 2, on Discord, go to throwdown/your/questions section. And 3, submit your questions, limit to 2 a week. And links for that, if you're on Twitch right now, just scroll down a little bit. There's a link right there. On YouTube, there's links. On Twitter, there's links. There's links everywhere, so you will not be lost and all that. Cool, man. So thank you for watching and listening. Leave us the questions in the Throwdown Discord, and we'll answer them on next week's show. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. Tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. And I also like to draw your attention to a little question that we asked on our Throwdown Twitter. If you're an Xbox fan and listen to the show, man, give us a little answer. The question is, let me look at it again. I totally forgot.
Probably should ask this shit at the top of the show.
You should have asked this at the top of the show. But yes, it was a question asking about the general direction that Microsoft and Xbox seems to be going with, in essentially making Xbox a non-console specific sort of ecosystem. What do you guys feel about that? Obviously, especially some of you guys have been, with Xbox since the beginning and stuff like that. So, give us a little bit of a knowledge on that. We'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, go answer on Twitter, man. All right. Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Later, people.
Brett Murdoch.
It's been real, party people.
Adam Vale.
Enter the Spider-Verse one for Best Animated Film of the
Fuck
year.
yeah.
As it should.
Black Panther won a few too.
I'm gonna say this. If you want to talk about that, you look at the nominees and then think about it. Spider-Verse was a sure win.
Yeah.
Sequels don't usually win Academy Awards. And come on, let's face it, the Academy probably never saw Isle of Dogs or that the Japanese film that was on there.
Wasn't the Incredibles 2 on that list?
Yeah.
Again, Incredibles? No. It's a sequel. Most of the time, sequels do not win. The only reason why those things are even in that category
Toy Story.
because you can count on your fingers how many animated films come out per year.
Yeah.
I mean, it also deserved it.
Yeah,
The animation category is a bullshit category. I'm gonna just say that because that just instantly guarantees that an animated film can never reach best film ever because they have their own category and they did it for a reason.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. See you next week.
Yeah, and Riku-san won, the only one.
Peace out, people. Peace out.
All right, guys, we'll see you on Thursday, man. Later,
guys.
Peace.
Yep.